as troops would say, we are back here on AFTV. Well done to United Stand for the last 3 hours. We've now been going for 6 hours on this live stream. Remember, we're going for a total of 24 hours. And let me check out what we've raised so far. £5,447.66. That is what we've raised so far. Well done to United Stand. They just done a brilliant job getting those funds up. Come on, guys. AFTV, we got to smash them lot out of the park, yeah? We got to smash what they just did out of the park. Especially, I was listening to their stream as well, especially they're over there trying to diss the Invincibles. What was Goldbridge and that other gentleman on about that the Invincibles, sorry, the treble winning team was better than them? And then the other thing that I couldn't believe what I heard him saying is York and Cole better than Bergkamp and Henry. I think they've been drinking over there. That's what I think they've been doing. But listen, we are back here. And remember, it's a 24-hour stream. We're going right through till 12 tomorrow. You've already had 3 hours from us this morning. We took it from 12 till 3 o'clock. Mark and the guys have just taken it from 3 till 6. We are now here till 9 o'clock. And I've got loads and loads of guests lined up in this segment. But remember, it's down to you guys. We want you guys to donate. Let's get this. Let's smash this completely out of the park. You can see the barcodes there. All you've got to do is scan those and it takes you right through to the Just Giving page, or go directly to the Just Giving page. The link is in the description, all right? Just jump on that link in the description, and whatever you've got, we will accept. Whatever you can give, we'll be more than grateful for it. It's all going to these brilliant guys in the NHS who are doing such a fantastic job on the front line, saving people's lives in this coronavirus crisis. We're all at home. We're all working from home. And I've got a great lineup for the next 3 hours. I've got some very, very good guests. Joining me now, I've got Claude. How you doing, Claude?
It's time to raise.
It's time to raise. I like that. What's that you're drinking?
It's a bottle of wine. You get it in a meal deal. It comes about £3 because you get it in a meal deal at Tesco's and they give you a bottle of wine. So
I've been steady on with that. Steady on with that, all right?
Well, you might as well go for it then.
We've also got joining us Lee Judges. How you doing, Lee?
How you doing? All right, meal deal. I can't believe you've got a meal deal, bro. Unreal, like that, mate. Unreal. Hey, what's it?
Half pint. How are you, half pint?
I'm not having half pint and a bottle of wine on a meal deal.
Get your half pint now, then.
And I've also got another guest who's going to be joining us. But just before I bring him in, we've got Mark, who's joining us there. Mark Goldbridge. How you doing, Mark? Well done to you guys for the past 3 hours. Brilliant. I see you lot have been smashing it out of the park. You got it up to 5,400.
Yeah. I thought I'd just pop in and say, come on, next 3 hours, let's see what we can do. But no, you started it off. We've took it on and really flew by. So everyone's doing fantastically well. I'm not surprised, but hopefully everyone can keep it up and keep it going. Who knows where we're going to go?
Yeah, you lot are brilliant over there. Apart from, I heard you lot over there dissing the Invincibles, right? That's what I'm going to be discussing with my guys in a minute. What were you and that other guy talking about?
Facts.
York and Cole better than Henry and Bergkamp. I think you've been drinking some of that plonk that Claude's drinking.
Nah. Hey, have you sorted out your quiz team yet? Anyway, that's what people want to know. What's your quiz team for 9 o'clock?
Claude's in the quiz team. At the moment, it's looking like I'm in it as well. So it looks like I'm doing a big marathon tonight, especially after what I heard you saying. I couldn't, but come on. Before you go, are you lot being serious there?
No, I said on paper, Bergkamp and Arsenal and Henry are clearly better than York and Cole, but they didn't that season. In the Invincible season, they didn't win a Champions League. They didn't win an FA Cup. York and Cole that season were absolute. And we're talking seasons. We're not talking careers. They were brilliant.
I'm going to interrupt Mark there on that one. Yeah, but they had a bit of help from Solskjaer and Sheringham.
They did in the final. You're right. Yeah,
Exactly.
we wouldn't have won it without them, to be honest. Yeah,
right. No, even throughout the season, everyone was used, weren't they? Throughout the season,
yeah.
Sheringham as
Don't be
well.
nice to him, Phil. Don't be nice to the Man United.
No,
Look,
but
don't be
no,
nice
it's
to him.
one fan that around.
Don't be nice.
Anyway,
Too nice,
right,
Phil.
it's your 3 hours now. I'll let you have it, and I'll see you at 9 o'clock.
All right, so I'm gonna see you. We'll see you at 9 o'clock for the quiz. But listen, well done to you guys. You've done brilliantly. And that was fantastic from you guys. And you did up to over what was? Let me just check the exact amount.
We're just under 5.5, I think now.
Yeah, I'm just checking the exact amount now. £5,471. That's absolutely amazing. Come on, guys, let's smash this right out of the park. You can do your super chats as well, but even more importantly, get over there and donate. That is brilliant. So well done to Mark. Thanks very much for that. We've also got joining us Graham. How you doing, Graham?
Hello, Rob. How are you, mate? Nice to be on.
Good. Did you just hear what Goldbridge was saying?
No, thankfully, no.
Well, let me, like how I got you guys. Let me ask. I'm going to ask you all one by one, yeah. And I'll start off with you, Graham, seeing as you just come in. What he's saying is first of all, he's saying that treble-winning team was a better. I'm always saying the best Premier League team is the Invincibles. He says the Premier League, the treble-winning team was better. Also, what he's saying is that Dwight York and Andy Cole was a better partnership, better combination than Henry and Bergkamp. And I'm not having that. But what do you think?
I'm not having that either. Henry Bergkamp, for me, best partnership Premier League history, in my opinion. Yeah. York and Cole was a phenomenal partnership, and that season that he's talking about, they were outstanding. I'll give him that. I think the Arsenal 2003-4 team was the best Premier League team, but their 99 team was the best overall team. That's the way I'd sum it up.
That's exactly what I say. What about you, Lee?
Well, I think, I'm going to be honest with you, I think that both teams were great, but I just think that one was slightly managed better than the other, and Ferguson was more ruthless than Arsene Wenger. I look, when you go back to the 2004, when we played in the FA Cup semi-final against Man United, we played our reserves. Man United didn't do that. Man United were on the button for every game, and I that's why I think Man United won a few more trophies than that in that time, because Ferguson was what he was. He was ruthless, and he didn't take whatever game was in front of him. He took it seriously, and when you look back to that 2004 one, missed opportunities. We went to that semi-final of the FA Cup against Man United, by far the better team, but played our reserves, and then because we had Chelsea, we rested players for that. It gave us a little kick in the confidence department, and we ended up losing to Chelsea. Alex Ferguson never allowed that to happen with his teams. Never.
He makes a good point, Claude.
Lee's got a great point about that, because I think that year we could have actually won it, that treble that year, if we'd have played the strongest teams in the FA Cup. And then I don't know what happened against Chelsea. I think the first game we should have beaten, we should have won it at the Bridge. We missed a big opportunity. I think that year we should have won the Champions League. But I think with us, I think we was too much concentrating on getting that unbeaten run. And I keep saying it, and I'll say it all again, I'd rather have lost 1 or 2 games and have won that Champions League that year.
Yeah.
Than be the Invincibles. That's my opinion. I mean, you probably all disagree with me on this, but I'd have taken 2 games.
No,
yeah, I mean, listen. What do you guys think? Throwing it back out there.
Yeah, I think that's a fair shout from Claude. I think it's such fine margins, isn't it? If you remember that week, that whole week to find the season, we played Man United on the Saturday in the FA Cup semi-final. As you said, as Lee said, he rested players, and we lost. I believe it was 1-0. We'd already gone to Stamford Bridge in that first leg and got a draw 1-1, hadn't we? So when it came back to Highbury, I remember that game, I was there. I think we led at half-time 1-0. Reyes, I think, scored. I believe it was Reyes. And then it was always going to be a tight game, because Chelsea had a good side that year. But obviously, I think we were the best team in Europe that year. They said last week that Sterling Moss is the greatest ever Formula One racer, never to win the Formula One championship. I think that Arsenal 2003-4 team's the greatest ever team not to win the Champions League. And I think on that night, if you remember, it was a mistake. I think it was a shot. I think our goalkeeper spilled, and I think Lampard, I think he might have tucked it in at 1-1. And it went 1-1 a long time, and the game became, we couldn't afford to concede the second goal. And I think in the end, it was sort of a late Wayne Bridge breakaway, wasn't it? I thought that season we beat Chelsea in every single game apart from that key that game. And in the end, we ended up they went out in the semi-final to Monaco. We ended up losing to Porto. So that was a big chance missed. I think that, as I say, go on, Lee, Claude.
No, even in '99, if you look back at '99, we should have won the double that year. I think we were the better team in '99, but we messed up. In the FA Cup semi-final, if Bergkamp puts that penalty away, which he should have normally would put it away. Ice cold Bergkamp missed that penalty, right? I thought overall we were the better team in that, and I thought in the league we messed up against Leeds, Ellen Road, where we should have won that game. We had numerous chances to win that. We should have won that game. So, and if you remember 2003, when we lost the title, we lost it at home to Leeds, isn't it? Leeds have been a bit of a bogey team on that front. So, I don't know. You mean in '99? I think we should have won the double, and they would have ended up with just maybe the Champions League, and may have lost confidence on that because they might have even got beat. I thought they were quite lucky to win that Champions League, though, working against Bayern Munich.
They were outplayed in the final, weren't they?
Most of the game, and then I think Bayern Munich just thought they won it, and they just let their foot off the pedal, and they just got done in the last minute. But I'm not. I think I think our team is a better. Their achievement is better, but I think our team is better on both occasions.
Bringing it back to now, because we're a bit worried about moaning about not winning the Champions League final. We're a million miles off that at the moment, ain't we, Lee?
Oh, yeah, well, we ain't even in it, you know what I mean? Let alone trying to win it. That's the trouble, you know. It's unbelievable that it was funny enough talking to a fella today about, you know, those great games between Arsenal and Man United. He's a Liverpool fan, and he's just said, even though that I don't support Arsenal and Man United, just really look forward to those games. They were something special. And the fall from grace from both teams is quite remarkable, really. Both clubs, you know, massive clubs. Man United, obviously, like, you know, I don't think you can argue that they are the biggest, but their grace has been as a massive fall, probably even more than ours, if I'll be honest, because they've spent the money as well on top of that. You know, Arsenal skinflinted through this demise, where they've chucked a lot of money in it, but it's unbelievable where both teams are at the moment. You know, if you'd go back in 2004, 2005 and said that Man City and Tottenham were the two powers at the moment, you would laugh. You know what I mean? That Man City and Tottenham would overtake both of us, and that's what they've done in the last couple of years. I think that Arsenal just gradually brought that back this season, but you know, it's quite remarkable. And at this moment in time, there hasn't been a great improvement in this, Robbie. You know,
they've overtaken us, but they ain't won fuck all, have they? Let's be honest.
No, they've not won nothing. You know, as I say, you know, so Man United have got it worse because, you know, not only have their fall from grace like ours, but they've got Man City winning trophies. You know, so it must be even worse for them. You know,
it's Tottenham 4,436 days without a trophy.
That's great. I like that. You ain't got the hours and minutes there and all, Graham. Have you like that?
I have actually. I've got. If you bear with me, you carry on talking. I'll get the stats up for you.
I'll tell you the one thing about Man United that's always bugged me a little bit with him is that when we was on the high and they was on their little bit of a low, we never give them a good spanking like they've given us. You know what I mean? Like they've beaten us. You know, I'm not a couple of good times they've given us a really good idea. And I think the best we've ever done was 3-0. Do you know what I mean? So I'll give them that. I'll give them their due for that. Again, that's what I say with Alex Ferguson, where he's ruthless. You know what I mean? He knew we was wounded, and you know I can imagine him in the dressing room. Right, let's turn the knife on these now. Let's really putting them in their place. And to be fair, they've done that on a couple of occasions to us. You know, but
just to give you some facts on Tottenham, 4,430 days, 4,438 days since the trophy. 10,563 days since an FA Cup win, 21,551 days since the league title. They've never won it in my lifetime. I was born in 61, Robbie, 6 months after they last won the league. So I'm just hoping to get off the planet before they win it again.
It'd be unbearable if they do. They're unbearable. It's bad enough when they're challenging for it, let alone winning.
Yasser is right.
Yeah, cool.
Yasser says, rivalry aside, United fan, he's a Man United fan. He said, I wish Wenger had the sending off that Sir Alex Ferguson did. No manager had a bigger impact in the Premier League than Arsene Wenger. Claude, did he deserve a better send-off than what he got?
Oh, I thought he did get a great send-off from the fans, didn't he? I mean, I didn't start. I mean, of course, everyone knows about me, but I thought I was angry. I was really angry at the time, and I regret maybe I shouldn't have done it. But I thought he got a good send-off from the Arsenal fans in general. I think it was like a big party, wasn't it, after the end? So no, I disagree with that.
Don't you always think to yourself, if he would have went a little bit sooner, he would have got?
Yeah, definitely. After the whole game, if he'd have gone after Hull, he would have got a great reception. No, I disagree. He said that he's had a bigger impact. No one's had a bigger impact than Ferguson, have they? Really? Come on, how many titles has he won? Champions League twice, isn't it? Twice Champions League winner. Come on, how can they say he's had a bigger impact?
But I think what the argument is that he always had the funds, didn't he? I mean, what do you think?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. He's always had the big funds, always like the £50 million players. And to be fair, Arsene Wenger come along and shook them up without a doubt, and done it in a different way, played a different way. I always, again, this is what I like about Alex Ferguson and dislike about him. When he played Arsenal, he would play 4-4-2 against every team. But when he played against Arsenal, he changed. And he never took it as a belittling Man United. He just felt that was because it was more important they won. Whether people thought, oh, look, he's changing his style for Arsenal. He'd come in those games here, he put the extra man in midfield and done things like that. We never done that. Arsene Wenger never done that.
And that makes him, to me, more clever and more tactically aware. Wenger had one way of playing, and that was it, wasn't it, really?
I think Claude, I don't know if Claude and Lee agree. I thought when Ferguson played us, he made it a physical game. He basically had his midfielders kicking lumps out of our players, didn't he?
Mm. Yeah, but he never hid away from that. He never said, "Oh, this is not a bad thing." He was big enough, ruthless enough, and more. It meant more to him winning than pleasing people. And I think that was something that we used to please on the eye of the football and all that. But he knew that if he played just the normal, like he'd go to Tottenham and play the same team. He knew if he comes to played against like he did at every other team, Arsenal would win. So he changed, and I admire him for that begrudgingly. I admire him for it.
Listen, guys, don't forget, you can see there that we're raising funds today. It's a 24-hour special live stream raising funds for the NHS. The link is in the description. There's also QR codes that you can scan there, which will take you through to the Just Giving page. Please, whatever you can give will be gratefully accepted. We're trying to raise as much money as we possibly can for this great cause. Guys, I've got a few other questions to put to you guys, right? I want to ask you several questions around the Premier League, not just Arsenal, but the whole Premier League, right? Best keeper this season in the Premier League?
Henderson,
Sheffield United.
Sheffield United, for me.
Claude, what about you, Lee?
Do you know what? That's a good shout from Claude. I think, I would go along with that. Yeah, I think. I think goalkeeping. Yeah, I'm going to go along with Claude. Can't believe I'm agreeing with Claude.
Graham.
I think Henderson's a good shout. Bird Leno's had an outstanding season for us.
Yeah, I think Leno's been up there.
Talk up the Arsenal keeper. He's been outstanding this season.
Yeah, I think. All right, best.
Yeah, until the Greek tragedy. Anyway, let's go in.
Best centre back.
Chelsea on. It's got to be Van Dijk. Simple as that. No,
I thought you were going to say Socrates and Louise, Lee.
No. Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it.
I think that's a pretty easy one. All right, best midfielder.
Jordan Henderson.
Ooh. Would you put De Bruyne in the midfield?
For me, yeah.
Then
De
it's
Bruyne.
Kevin De Bruyne for me.
De Bruyne. Do you know what is interesting? It's interesting. I was talking to Chris Pajak from the Redmen TV about Henderson, and he was saying that he doesn't, because we were talking about should he get Player of the Season, and he was saying he's got a great shout for that. But then when I was chatting to Kevin Campbell, he was saying no. He goes, he thinks Mane, Salah, Van Dijk, those guys are ahead of him because Liverpool can do without Henderson. If Henderson's not playing, it's not the end of the world. Whereas those other guys, it is.
The reason Kevin's saying that, because I think it's more pleasing on the eye. Whereas if you look all round displays this year, you've got to give it to Henderson, I think. That's my opinion. It's because
I'm not one to argue with Kevin. Like, but and I hope he's not listening. But because if you're on the phone having a go at me, I think that their form slightly dipped when Henderson weren't in the team. He lost a couple of games when he wasn't there, when he got injured. So I know what Kevin's saying, but I do think that sometimes when you take a player, when a player's playing all the time, you don't really miss him. When he's out of the team, you think, oh, we missed him a little bit there. And I felt that Liverpool weren't quite the same when he's been out of the team.
However, imagine if Van Dijk's missing. It's a much bigger miss.
Without a doubt.
And that's why I'd agree with Kevin saying that,
I agree with Kevin on that. Yeah. I do agree.
Do you know, Robbie, in 88, 89, the biggest keeper, it's not may not be pleased on the eye, but for me, the biggest key player for Arsenal in 88, 89 was Kevin Richardson.
Yeah. That's
how I look at it.
And then you could even bring it a bit ahead of that. When you talk about Henderson, our sort of Henderson was Gilberto Silva. Remember when he went missing from the team for a little bit, how much we missed him, remember?
Yeah.
Are they giving it to Henderson, or the talk about Henderson simply because he's the captain of the team likely to win the Premier League? Is that part of it, do you think?
Probably. That's a good shout.
Yeah.
Right. Most underrated player in the Premier League. I don't want people to join in with this as well, by the way. Great.
Well, go to Claude.
Hard one.
My mind's gone a blank.
I'll tell you, I'm going to go. One person that I criticised when we didn't sign him, Johnny Evans, very, very underrated central defender, and I apologise for my outburst on him a few years back because he just does what's on the tin, and I don't think he gets probably the appreciation that he should do. I think he's got to be up there. He's done exceptionally well with Leicester again this season, so he'd be one that I would think about.
Good shout. Claude, most underrated player in the Premier League.
I'd go with that. I would go with that. That's a great shout, Evans. I'd go with Evans on that one. I'm agreeing with Lee. I can't believe I'm agreeing with Lee.
Get the one out.
Graham.
I think he's been out. I remember people, a particular person in our fan base, we're not naming any names, was absolutely snorting when it asked about would you buy Johnny Evans, and he started laughing about it. So, it's not always the spectacular players, that big money players, that come good. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'll go with Johnny Evans.
All right, Graham.
Do you know what? I haven't got one. I can't think of one off the top of my head. So you'll have to pass on me.
Do you know what? I've got one, and you know what? And this guy Omar said the same person that I was thinking of. Right, this guy to me, most underrated guy in the Premier League, Wijnaldum at Liverpool.
Yeah.
He's an exceptional player, right? Yeah. And he never really gets a mention, right? But I really, really rate that guy. And how many important goals has he scored? How much work does he do? You know what I mean? His work rate is phenomenal. You know what I mean? He's a top player, but he never really hear his name called out much. You know what I mean? So, all right, most overrated player in the Premier League.
Paul Pogba.
Paul Pogba.
Yeah, I was going to say Pogba.
You're saying Pogba as well, Graham?
Yeah, I was.
£90 million quid. I mean, it's got to be Pogba for me.
Ooh. What about you, Lee?
Wow.
Overrated.
Overrated. Well, Mesut Ozil's got to come into that category. Right? You know what I mean? Like,
He's not rated anymore, Lee.
Well, I don't know. I think that he is. That's a tough call. You know, Paul Pogba, I think, you know, has been injured a lot. When he's on his game, he's on his game. He can be on his game. There's
a lot of suggestions coming in. Aberman says Lingard. Kaylee James says Lingard as well.
I'm trying to think of a Spurs player. It's got to be a
Akil
Spurs
says Dele Alli.
Dele Alli, yeah.
Yeah,
It's got to be a
Dele
Spurs
Alli, yeah.
player. Dele Alli, there we go.
Dele Alli, that's definitely one. Yeah,
I don't rate Lingard in the first part. I don't see what the fuss is about Lingard. So,
There's one coming in here.
Dele Alli's a very good player, but he's overrated. That's the one for me. Very good player, but overrated.
Oh, there's loads of shouts coming in from people. Jorginho, I don't think he's overrated. He's decent, man. Lacazette, someone's saying, and Ali.
No.
Rashford, come on, Rashford's not overrated. You know, he's a very good player. Someone's saying Leno. Are they having a laugh? You know,
you could throw Hector Bellerin.
There's one in there for Pepe as well.
There's a few in there for Harry Kane. I just noticed going through there. You know, I think you can't have that. I don't like him. Harry Kane can't have that. He's certainly not underrated when he plays against us.
Final one I'm going to give to you guys: manager of the season.
Well, you know what? Everyone's going to go for the obvious, but I'm going to go for the Sheffield United manager. I think he's done incredible for what he's got, what the resources he's got. And he's done incredible to be in the top. He's in the top 6, aren't they, in the league?
Yeah, he's
amazing, absolutely amazing. But of course, everyone's going to. Of course, you're going to go for Klopp because of the. But if you're going to go pound for pound, I'm going to say Wilder.
All right, you say Wilder, Graham?
Yeah, I agree with Claude. I think a shout out for what Ancelotti's done at Everton, because he came in when they were down the bottom and he's pushed them right up the top. Ancelotti's done good things at Everton, but Wilder, for me, I think nails it. I don't know what Lee thinks.
I think Brendan Rodgers at Leicester. I think he's done exceptionally well. Yeah. Turned them around, you know, from where they were to what they are now, to get them in the Champions League. I think it's done really well. I do agree with pound for pound is Wilder without a doubt. With what he's done at Sheffield United is amazing. But for me, Klopp, you know, they've been relentless this season. Liverpool, you know, absolutely relentless. You know, lost one game. Very, very good, you know, to keep them going as he has, and all what he done last season. And also, I will say this: I don't begrudge Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool, because thanks to them, I can still go to football after last May. You know, I have to say that. You know, people keep having a go at me about Liverpool, but thanks to Liverpool, I can still go football. I can still walk the streets day and night because they stuffed Spurs in that final. And so, for me, Jurgen Klopp.
All right. Well, listen, guys, thank you very much, you guys, for coming on today. Really, really appreciate it. We've got so many other guests coming up, but it's been absolutely brilliant just to be talking to you guys again with all what's going on. I mean, I don't know about you guys. I'm missing football so badly now. It's starting to get to me.
Yeah.
How badly are you all missing it?
Oh, really badly. Everything about the match day, Robbie, about just something about a match day, sort of like feels great, you know, going with my son, the stadium itself, the build-up, the drink, the meal afterwards, seeing you guys, everything about the day I miss badly.
I'm missing it, yeah. I'm missing all them rants I do. I miss all that. I love being fucking miserable. Excuse my language. I love being miserable, you know what I mean? That's my, you know.
Well, the isolation should suit you then. Is be miserable in that?
I know. You should hear the landlady downstairs. God help us.
Is Lee missing the cook? Is Lee missing the corporate?
I'm missing the champagne. Yeah, I'm missing the champagne and the corporate stuff. But do you know what? Do you know one thing I'm not missing? I'm not missing having the ump. You know, like the weekends are not being ruined at the moment by a defeat. So I'm definitely going to be when it all comes back. I'm going to be a changed person. I tell you, you know.
Just finally, do you know where we were in the league this time last year?
Third.
Were we in the league this time last year? We were second.
No, we were third.
Oh, not second. Third.
Yeah.
This was the weekend where I think we lost to Palace.
Yeah, this was Crystal Palace, wasn't it?
This weekend, and then we were third going into that game, and then it all went wrong, didn't it?
Bloody hell. Well, listen, guys, thank you.
Great Arteta, but I warned you all about Arteta. I warned you. None of you would listen. None of you would listen. I told you all. I told you even when there was a 21-game unbeaten run, I warned you. But no one would listen. And that's why we're in the situation we are now.
Now, I know we know the reason. It was all down to that. It was all down to that.
That is why I am the voice of reason.
Voice of treason, I'll tell you. Voice of treason.
Listen, thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much. To have you, and keep those comments coming in. Biro says, respect Robbie for this event. I would like to hear your opinions on what if Arsenal won't spend on the big superstars, but buy underrated players just like Liverpool did with Mane, Salah, and Firmino. Well, listen, that's probably going to have to be the way right now because the money just ain't there to get those big signings in. I've got another guest who's coming in with me now, Yanni.
Yo.
How you doing, Yanni?
I'm very well. Hey, everyone. What's happening? Hope you keep me
good,
safe.
Man. Good. Yanni, of course, you would have seen he's got his huge YouTube channel, TV show as well. When it comes to customizing cars, he's the man. Big Arsenal fan as well.
Massive.
He does some great when you did Aubameyang's car.
So Oba, when Oba first come to Arsenal, everyone said to me, he loves cars. He will contact you. So I was sitting waiting patiently. I've still got quite a few Arsenal players' cars that I've done. So I'm thinking, he's going to contact me. He's going to get my number from one of the boys. He actually sends me a DM. Right, so I see Aubameyang come through DM. I'm like, okay. He's like, Yanni, I want to get my car done. So I was like, cool, message him back. I'm like, listen, do you want me to come to the training ground, come to your house? He's like, no, I'll come to your place. So he turns up. What did he turn up in? He turned up in his Urus, and it was gold.
Not bad.
So it was gold at the time. And I was like, what do you want to get done? He goes, I want to get my Lambo done, the Aventador. He goes, I want to get the Urus done. So I was like, okay, cool. And he goes, I like to uniform my cars. And he goes, I used to see you driving up and down the M25. So I used to live in like Hertfordshire. So I used to drive past the training grounds.
Yeah.
And I had a chrome turquoise Lambo. And I used to drive one way and he would drive past in the gold. I'd know it was him. Okay, but I didn't know that he'd recognize me.
Yeah.
He was like, I love your cars, love your car. I want a uniform. So I was like, sorry, his Urus wasn't gold at the time. It was like a flip color. It was a matte black. It was matte black, actually. And he goes to me, I want to make it gold. So I'm like, okay, cool. So we done the Lambo first, the Aventador in gold. And he came down, he took delivery and was happy to have a YouTube video as well. Real cool guy. And then he was like, okay, I want the Urus done. And we done that in chrome gold as well. So we uniformed both cars. But obviously, Oba's got a LaFerrari. And that was the car that I wanted. LaFerrari, over £2 million, and it's red. And people say, if you wrap a red Ferrari, you need help. You're
sacrilege, they were saying, sacrilege.
That's it. And obviously he's a gooner. The car's red. Like, what you doing? You can't change the color. Anyway, so he had a Lamborghini Performante. So we wrapped that in like a flip color. And he was like, I want my last done. I was like, are you serious? He's like, yeah. So I was like, okay. Then he goes, come and collect it. So I was like, all right, I don't mind that. So I had to ring my insurance company, increase my policy, because anything over 1 million, I can drive up to £1 million, but anything over 1 million, I just have to ring them and say, listen, it's over. So I rang them up and they're like, yeah, no problem. Go and collect it. Picked it up, brought it back, done the wrapped it for him, and obviously come and collected it. People hated it. Oh my God. Did they hate it? It was like a crazy flip color. And but listen, when you're at the time he was top goal scorer, he's banging in goals week in, week out. He was on a run of like, I think he was on like 9 or 10 at that stage, like just continuous week in. He was like, Jan, I don't care. I don't care what people think.
He is his own man. He is his own man. And obviously, you have a good relationship now. What has he said to you about staying?
I think it's cutting out. Reception's really bad in here. You know what it is? I deal with a lot of football players from, I can sit here and name drop, from Aubameyang, Aguero, Sane, from back in the day, from Theo Walcott, Chesney, obviously my best friend's Bakary Sagna. And I know a lot of real stories. So like, I'm not going to get into it, but I will say Sagna, when Sagna left, a lot of people were saying, no, he left for the money, Listen, he didn't, okay? The contract on the table wasn't the contract that you heard in the news, okay? And it wasn't just City and Liverpool both came in for him. City and Liverpool both came in for him at the same time. And he said to me, Jan, who should I go to? He goes, he wanted to stay at Arsenal, and they lied. They didn't.
That's the thing, isn't it? With that's the thing with transfers, is that a lot of times we don't realise that it's not exactly how we're being fed it. And I think it was even with Adebayor, obviously got loads of clicks.
Yeah.
His agent at the time told me Adebayor did not want to leave Arsenal.
It's not always, as I said, it's not always the truth, and the press will manipulate things and make it sound correct. And they'll say we've had this source, and it's definitely correct. It's come from one of the close people from the family, or whatever. Nah, it's not true. It's not true.
This gentleman saying that he recently proposed to his beautiful lady. I think I saw that on your Instagram.
Yeah, I got engaged about 6 weeks ago, 7 weeks ago. So yeah, that's cool. And obviously perfect timing. So now we're on lockdown, so it's just me and her and kids and stuff. So it's all right. If I'm going to kill it now, it's been all right, to be fair.
How's things been for you? Because obviously, you know what I mean, with what's going on, this is terrible for business.
So it's difficult for me because I'm in a catch-22. Theoretically, I could still have Yanamai's open, but because of bad publicity and things that people would say, I was like, you know what, I'm going to close. Let me close and let me do the right thing. I've got probably £1 million, £2 million worth of cars sitting in Yanamai, some with no wheels on, no doors on. And I've got customers ringing me, Yan, I want my car back. And I'm like, I'm closed. I've got no staff to come in and actually finish the jobs. And now they've done this extra 3 weeks. It's a difficult situation, but I can run my business because what I can, it's Sanique and Mark, a couple of rappers, and they're two brothers and they live together. So theoretically, I could let them go. They drive together to work. Yanamai stays closed. They could do the cars. Yeah, they can then leave. I can send a stripper and fitter in to fit the cars up on his own. So theoretically, I could open. So, but you know what? It's people. Everyone has something to say, and if I do that, and then people might say stuff. Just at the moment, I'm just like, let me stay closed. Let me wait these 3 weeks. But I think if after these 3 weeks they extend it, I'm going to probably bring my staff in.
Just you said you didn't want to name drop, but tell us some of the footballers the best cars that you wrapped for footballers.
The best cars that were wrapped for footballers, obviously. Yeah. Oba with the
best wrap.
Best wrap. So Oba with the laugh for sure. Gallas, the famous chrome SLR for William Gallas. That put me on the map. El Hadj Diouf, chrome SLR. Aguero, satin black Lamborghini. Who'd you say? Oh yeah, pretty much everyone at Arsenal, loads of Man City. So I can sit here and name the Arsenal players. At one stage, so when I used to go to the games, the back used to have a box there. So I used to go to every game, and back's box was box 19. So when Arsene Wenger was facing the pitch, we were just behind to the left. Yeah, so we're above all the noisy fans. Yeah, so you know, whenever they come and they wave to a certain corner, that's where we sit. And I remember I'd watched the game. Okay, let's say it was an Arsenal Tottenham game. I'd look and I'd count. There's 22 players on the pitch, and I'd look and I'd be like, I must have done 17 players' cars on that pitch. And, and it's an amazing feeling to know that I've worked on, or my staff have worked on so many customers' cars. And at one stage, the most I ever got was 9. One game, there was 9 starting players. I've done all their cars.
That's unbelievable. That is unbelievable. Listen, we seem to be having a little problem with your mic, but listen, I really appreciate you coming on today.
My pleasure.
Keep up the good work. Just before you go there, tell everybody where they can catch you, because you've got a brilliant YouTube channel. Tell everybody about that.
So I've got about, I think, 1.5 million now on YouTube. It's Yanamai, so yeah, brand everything. It's Yanamai, loads of cars, rapping, loads of stuff with football players. You'll see there's videos in there with Oba, Hector, Sagna, Theo Walcott, just literally from players all from back in the day and obviously up to date now. And yeah, and on Yanamize on Instagram as well.
So Yanni, thank you very much. It's really appreciate. I know you're a busy guy, and listen, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's brilliant. Maybe sometime, at least you're gonna have time to save up for the wedding with all what's going on.
Robbie, I wrapped your car, mate, so I'm not worried. I got your piece.
Thank you, man. Take care.
Take care, guys. Stay safe, everyone. See you later.
Brilliant. That's the. He's doing. He trust me, like you said, he's wrapped nearly every footballer's car, and I was there when he done Aubameyang's car, and I'll tell you that car looked crazy. I liked it. I think it's a lot of the real traditionalists were sort of like, no, you shouldn't wrap the car like that. But I liked it. I thought it was brilliant. Let's listen, keep those donations coming in, right? We really, really appreciate it. Let's see where we're at the moment. Let me jump into the Just Giving page. We're nearly up to $6,000 now. So listen, keep those donations coming in. We want to smash United Stand out of the water as well, right? Let's get a bit of competition going on here. We want to smash them out of the water as well. So keep those donations coming in. You can either donate by doing in the super chats and that, and we really, really appreciate those. But the best place to donate is to go to the Just Giving page. You go to the Just Giving page. The link is in the description. You've also got those codes there that you can scan that will take you directly through to the page. And as I said, we are grateful for whatever you give. Whatever you give, we are 100% grateful for that. So please, whatever you can do, we would really, really appreciate that. It's all about trying to raise as much money as we possibly can for the NHS. We know these guys at the moment, they're on the front line. They're doing a fantastic job. And the more we can give to them, the better. This guy here, Daniel Farrar, said, did DT shave his beard? Well, he bottled out of shaving his beard. But what he did agree to do is when we get to 10 grand, he said that he will dye his beard. And we are going to hold him to that. We are going to hold him to that. And it's not going to be just a spray. He's going to dye it, right? Properly dye it, right? So let's get to that 10 grand mark because I want to see that tonight. Joel Green says, where's Troops? Troops is going to be coming up around about midnight, right? So look out for Troops. He's going to be coming up later on tonight. You know, he's a bit of a night person, so he will be on later on. So look out for, I don't know what sort of state he's going to be in when he does finally land, but he is going to be on later on. So make sure you check that out. Big up to Kayan Jackson. He says, Robbie and the crew with a big up and a blood clot self all the way from Jamaica. Big up all Jamaicans tuned in. Love to hear from you wherever you're watching this stream around the world. We really, really would love to hear from you. So wherever you're watching around the world, let me know. Let me also go and big up some of the people who've been donating because, you know, you guys have been doing a fantastic job with these donations. As I said, we're just under $6,000 at the moment. Let's big up Simon. Thank you very much for your donation. Richie G, Dak, Andrew Hale, who's donated. Really, really appreciate that. Lots of anonymous people who have donated. We're really thankful for that. And, you know, you're anonymous, but not for us. You are a star. Bigging up Charles Akansi. Thank you very much for your donation. Really, really appreciate that. So keep those coming in. Is it T-Bird, Sinat, George, Azar Selena, Sean Davis, all you guys really, really appreciate it. It's fantastic what you're doing. Joined now by another guest who's just jumped in the stream. We've got Nikki from West Ham Fan TV, big West Ham fan. Nikki, how you doing tonight, mate?
I'm good, Rob. I'm good. I've been keeping an eye on what's been going on here. Great work as usual.
Brilliant, and I'm glad you could join us on the stream. And you know, it's fantastic the generosity of all football fans right now because we've got football fans from right across the board, all donating, and it's really, really brilliant to see. How have you been without the football?
Struggling, if I'm honest. Yeah, I'm struggling. I've been stuck indoors now for a good 6 weeks. Haven't really been out much. Been trying to keep down to the government guidelines and all that sort of stuff. But the last time we went football, obviously it was at your place, wasn't it? And we were to know then it was going to be the last game of the season.
It's true. That was the last game when we played you, and you gave us. Listen, you played a really good game that day, and West Ham were just starting to turn a corner as well, wasn't it?
This is it. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, in comparison to what's going on and you know what we're raising money for today and all that sort of stuff, it bears no comparison. But you know, when you think about if it, you know, they're so desperate for it to return, you know, it could knock a few people off their stride. And I think we was just getting into our stride. So it was obviously a little bit disappointing because I thought we started to turn the corner a little bit. I think we would have got out of it eventually. But yeah, it's you know, it is. Yeah, look, people putting up on the stream now, but West Ham were getting relegated. You're not wrong. You know, we was heading in the wrong direction. But no, you know, at the end of the day, I've said this before. I think it's going to be the right decision to cancel the season if it comes to it. But you know, in terms of my club, I want the people responsible to be held accountable, and I think that's what a lot of West Ham fans were doing that. But yeah, you know, it is what it is. But you know, everyone. You know, he's missing everything like mad, you know, but you know, when you put into comparison, you know, I'm missing family more than I'm missing football and everything else. And, you know, there's so many people going out, risking their lives and everything else to go to work, to you know, to provide us essential services, medical care, shopping and all that as well are going to be missing their families. So, you know, when you put it into comparison, it doesn't compare.
We got another West Ham fan who's joining you here. Features on your channel a lot. We got Dom. How you doing, Dom?
Oh, I'm logging off.
I'm all right, Rob.
and I know, Dom. You actually work in the NHS, don't you?
Yeah. And I actually had the virus 2 weeks ago.
You had it? Oh,
yeah. I had it. Yeah. It ain't nice, and it plays tricks on you.
In what way?
You think it's gone, and then it comes back. Completely lost my smell, completely lost my taste, horrible headache. Couldn't even it ached to move. Couldn't get out of bed. It was horrible. And but yeah, I'm all right now. It's going to take more than a virus to kill me off. But yeah, not nice at all, mate.
It's terrible, isn't it? And I mean, you know, and I think sometimes. You're sitting and you're hearing about it, but because you haven't really had it, that's why people are quick and willing to sort of break the rules on the lockdown. But when you hear what you're saying there, and lucky enough, you survived. Remember, there's a lot of people that don't even make it through this thing. I mean, people do need to stick to the rules, don't they?
It feels a bit like a lottery, because we all saw on the news the other day that there's a lady in her 100s. She was 106 and she survived it. Yet I was reading on the BBC website of, you know, notable ages that have died of it. And you're seeing people in their 30s, people in their 20s, and I'm in my 20s. So it could have easily been me. Thankfully it wasn't. But it does feel like a lottery. I mean, I suppose people have underlying health conditions you don't know about, maybe even they don't know about, but you know, it does seem a bit like that. I mean, it's just a horrible disease that's just wrecked the world. But just hopefully, if everyone sticks to the rules, sticks to the lockdown, which seems to be doing the trick at the moment, things will go back to normal. But what I think we've got to realise is we're not the only place affected. It's not just the UK, it's the whole world. So if we recover, that's great, and it's all very well and good. But you've also got to think the whole world needs to recover as well.
Yeah, listen, it's terrible times at the moment. I hope we're going to get through this. Here's a question for both of you, right? This is coming from Varkas. Let's start off with you, Nikki. Do you miss the bowling ground, Upton Park?
Oh, with every ounce of my heart. You know, I'll never experience a place like it. Of course, I miss it. I miss it every day. But you know, you have to get to a point now. It's 4 years now since we moved from there. it's gone. You know, you've just got to get on with it.
Do you think that's it? Because they've actually built on it now, isn't it? So there's no chance of it.
No, it's flat.
Of ever moving back or anything, isn't it? That's it, isn't it?
There's nothing there. It's all flats now. People are going to be moving into there very soon, I would imagine. You know, we're never going to have anything like it. So yeah, I miss the place. Look, football's more than just, you know, grass and stands. You know, you know, the places hold memories dear. You know, you would have known it from Highbury. You know, when you left Highbury and you move up the road a little bit. You know, all your memories there, all your childhoods there, everything you know about football growing up is left in those bricks and mortar, as you say. And you move to a new place, it doesn't quite feel the same, you know. And we haven't had a custom built stadium to say with, you know, it's ours, you know. So we're sort of like the homeless club at the moment, you know. We're renting, and hopefully one day we'll own our stadium again.
Dom, what you know, it's been a bit of a disappointing season for West Ham. I'm going to be completely honest. At the start of the season, I know you guys have a go at your owners and that, but at the start of the season, when I saw your team, I was like, you know what? They've got a very good team. They could possibly top 6. I could see it. I'm looking at the team. I'm like, they brought in Haller. They've already got Felipe Anderson and these guys. They've, you know, right throughout the team, right from defense, right up to up front. I'm like, that is a strong squad. Yarmolenko and guys like that coming back. But it's just not happened, isn't it? What's gone wrong at West Ham?
It's all good having the players on paper. Now, if football was played on paper, we'd be up there. We'd be challenging. Now, to be honest with you, at the start of the season, I had definite high hopes. You know, I thought we'd be up there at least. I didn't expect all this by March, obviously. I don't think anyone did. But I expected us not to be in a relegation fight at least. And like I said, if football's played on paper, we'd be up there. But the trouble is we don't have a system. A lot of the time, when we're under Manuel Pellegrini, the fact we finished 10th in his first season sort of made it look like he was doing an okay job. First season's always hard, give him his due. But a lot of people have got to remember, we also had a few problems that season with the consistency. We were extremely inconsistent. We turn up one week, we look like well beats. We turn up the next week and we go missing. We've got too many mercenary players in the squad, which is the big problem. Players like Anderson, Lanzini, you could argue, is a mercenary now because he's just not performing. Haller, potentially a mercenary. Now, under Pellegrini, and I said this a lot to Nicky on fan camps, he looked like he was making up as he was going along. He didn't have a system. He couldn't defend. Under Man City, I don't think he was a very good defensive coach. I think Man City league goals for fun when he was their manager, especially with 2 clowns at the back. The football we played was he'd rather make nice passes and actually create genuine chances, and that's the problem. But then obviously when he was sacked, what you have to do is go and appoint a better manager. And David Moyes. I mean,
you're not feeling more
answer to that question, that one already, and it's just not worked out at all.
You know, he's a guy here makes a point, right? He puts he just put there it's just whiz past, but he put
you, mate.
Sorry, let me put it to Nicky there. Nicky, there's a guy who just mentioned the player there, right? Who was a vital player for you guys, and obviously you guys sold him on. Arnautovic. You kind of missed that guy, innit? I kind of forgot about him, but
there's been a big raging debate going on over the last few days because apparently he come up on a on some saying that they if they want me back, I'll come back and all of that sort of stuff. And you know, the thing about West Ham is if you turn their back on them, there's not many people that are going to take you back. He's a fabulous football player. He's got strength. He's got pace. He's built 100% for the Premier League. He's got everything to succeed as a Premier League player. He was fantastic at Stoke. He was fantastic with us. The fans absolutely loved him. You can't look past his attitude. If you could look past attitudes, Ravel Morrison would be playing at the top.
That's true.
That is the way it is. You can't look past his attitude. Once a player turns around, starts making sort of noise about getting out, and I want to do this, I want to do that, I need more money, blah 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 blah. Then there's no turning back for. I think any football club in the world is like that. You see the players that Alex Ferguson sold at Man United because of bad attitudes and thinking they're bigger than the club and all that. Dom just turned around and said, "Look, there's a load of mercenaries there. That would just be one more mercenary."
I'm gonna fire some quick fire questions at you guys. Yeah. Yep. Right. And I just want you guys to just quick answers to these questions, right? For both of you. Kicking off with you, Nicky. Should the season be voided? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, it should.
Why? Even though I said quick fire, but why?
Because I don't see a way that they can do it safely. And football without fans is not football.
Okay.
You might as well go and watch Sunday League.
Dom, should it be voided? Yes or no? Dom's still having problems with his mic. So, all right, I'm gonna fire them all at you, Nicky. So yes, they should be voided. Second one I want to do, I'm going to give you some of these head-to-heads, yeah, and you just give me the answer of who for you. You
so
prefer
who win. Right, okay.
Right, Aubameyang or Kane?
Oh, Kane.
Kane.
Yeah, got to say Kane.
You're a West Ham fan, aren't you? Kane.
No, but he's a goal scorer.
What are you doing, man?
Sorry,
you want to get invited back here, right? Right, Aubameyang, okay, you got Kane. Mustafi or Phil Jones?
Mustafi.
Ndidi or Kante?
Oh, Kante.
Tammy Abrahams or Danny Ings?
Danny Ings.
Kevin De Bruyne or Bruno Fernandes?
Kevin De Bruyne.
Jack Grealish or Mason Mount?
Mason Mount.
Adama Traore or Raheem Sterling?
Raheem Sterling.
Leno, Bern Leno or De Gea?
Leno. De Gea's overrated. Massively overrated.
Okay. Wan-Bissaka or Ricardo Pereira at Leicester?
Pereira.
And Lewis Dunk or Harry Maguire?
Lewis Dunk.
Lewis Dunk. All right. So you've got you haven't strictly gone with the grain there. So that's good. What do West Ham need? Once this season's done, what do you guys need to get you back to where you want to be?
We need some structure, Rob. We need some structure in the club. I think we need Dom. Dom was just on there saying, we've got no sort of direction. We seem to scattergun bids everywhere. We need some sort of philosophy. We need to find an identity, and we need to what's the word? We need to rebuild and rebuild massively. Look, at the end of the day, we need to get back. You look at Allardyce. Allardyce was never the greatest manager for us. He played a horrible brand of football that we didn't enjoy, but he had an idea. He knew what he wanted. And he bought the players to fit that system. He knew he wanted someone running from deep, so he went and got Kevin Nolan. He knew he wanted two powerhouses in midfield, so he went and got Papa Bouba Diop and fucking whoever else he got. He knew he wanted a big solid centre back, so he went and signed Abdoulaye Faye. He had an idea. We don't seem to have that sort of philosophy. We just buy players and hope they'll fit in. We need to we need to find some sort of identity before we can move on to another identity. We're trying to skip between one philosophy to the next, game by game, but we need to get a core philosophy in place.
All right. Well, listen, Nicky, absolute pleasure. Thank you for coming on. Like, you know what, that question, let me just slip that in quickly. Liverpool YNWA says, Nicky, do you miss Paye?
Yeah, massively.
He was absolute quality, weren't he? I mean, again, that was another guy that, you know,
took the league by storm at the end of the day. I think at the time he was probably one of the best in Europe.
Yeah.
You know, him and Ozil in that season were you know, neck and neck. I think for you know, creator of the season. I just see another guy saying, I obviously don't like United. I do like United. I do. It's just you know, with the players you've put to me, I just didn't like. You know, I'm not a massive fan of Maguire. And who was the other one? Jones.
The other one was Lewis Dunk or Maguire or Wan-Bissaka or Ricardo. I agree with you. I'd go Ricardo as well. I think I'd get another underrated player.
Yeah. But yeah, Man United are all right. You know, they're nothing special, are they?
All right. Well, listen, Nicky, thank you very much for coming on, mate. Really, really appreciate it.
Well done for all the things you're doing, guys. And good luck with your donations and everything else. If I can do anything else, you know, I'm always on the end of the phone. Brilliant. Thank you. That's Nicky from West Ham Fan TV. Also, thank you to Dom. He had a bit of problems with his mic, but really appreciate it. Dom, who actually had the coronavirus, and you heard what he was saying there, how horrible it is to get that. So listen, stick to what the government are saying. Stay at home, right? We've got to stop spreading this thing, you know. It's terrible. So stick to what the government are saying on this one. It is really, really important. Keep those donations coming in. I saw something flash up that we'd hit over £6,000, so that's absolutely unbelievable. But right about now, I'm about to bring a little bit of Nigerian flavor. I'm about to bring a bit of African flavor to the proceedings. I've got two people coming up. First of all, let me bring her in. Lovely lady, this lady. Let's bring in Cuppy. How you doing, Cuppy?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, it's absolutely great to have you here. Thank you very much. And we've also got Kelechi coming in.
What a surprise! Robin, have you really just created a Afrobeat party live?
Afrobeat party live, yes. Listen, both of you, thank you very much. Oh, somebody's mic's crackling a bit there. I think you might have to turn your volume down a little bit.
Hello.
I think it might be you, Cuppy. Yeah, that's better. Cuppy, first of all, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
This initiative. I know you raise so much money yourself for charities and that. What's it like? I know you're over there in Nigeria at the moment. What's it been like over there? Because this is something that's hit everybody right around the world, isn't it?
Of course. Actually, Robbie, I'm in London.
Are you in London at the moment?
I am. But of course, you know, I've raised a lot of money for those at home in Nigeria. And like you said, it's a global thing. First of all, congratulations on what you're doing. It's phenomenal. I see those donations coming in. You've already reached £6,000, which is phenomenal. So I'm really proud of what you're doing, and I'm happy to be proud of I'm part of this. So what's going on in Nigeria at the moment, obviously, is, you know, it is a global pandemic. But the biggest issue at hand, I think, you know, is getting people tested and also people having access, you know, to these tests. Another big problem, we have a population of over 183 million people in our country. So when you look at the sheer number, it's going to be very difficult to not only distribute things evenly, resources, food, basic needs, but also get people tested. And I personally think one of our biggest issues, which is an issue here in the UK, is fake news. That is really, really what's affecting a lot of us. Kelechi, I'm sure you received all those WhatsApps, saying that maybe Africans can't get it, young people can't get it. It's been very clear. Everyone is basically a risk. Yeah, that is so true. That is so true. And you saw that West Ham fan that we just had on. Yes, I saw him. Yes,
you know what I mean?
Experience. Can I just say it's so phenomenal to hear from those that have been through it, because you know it makes you sort of, it puts things into perspective. You know, and it kind of encourages those that are going through it as well, that they can somehow find light in the tunnel.
How difficult has it been for you, Cuppy, as obviously being a DJ?
Robbie, I'm unemployed.
Around the world.
I'm unemployed. You know,
It's
at the
terrible.
moment, being a DJ, a global DJ, you know, everything has left and right been cancelled. All my festivals, my party Cactus on the Roof, which you've been to, everything's been cancelled. And so for sport and for music, very social operations, you know, we've all been affected. But it's inspiring me as well to, you know, look more inwards. It's growing some relationships, growing connectivity. But I think all of us can't wait to get back out. You know, for me, back out onto the DJ decks. For a lot of people, back onto the pitch. It's testing times.
Very testing times. Kalechi, how you doing, brother?
All right, we're chilling.
Yeah.
Let me play some vibes for you now. Hey. I'll be these still restless.
I want to see you go low. Hey. Green light, hey. Robbie can let me go. Hey.
I swear I go low.
Hey. Oh yeah. Hey. I won't pay it. Hey.
Hey, Kalechi, I've missed it. Listen, one guy I've missed at football is this guy, right? Because he's the one guy that sometimes, even when there's a defeat, he can cheer you up, right? And I've missed you, man. And how badly are you missing football?
I mean, it's too. I've been indoors for more than 4 weeks now, so I've been missing it too badly. It's like a routine for me. I miss the traveling and going up to Manchester or Liverpool to the away days, and even going to the Emirates. So it's quite hard for me to adjust, but I'm adjusting.
Aubameyang. We've been talking about it literally the whole time. Do you think this guy's going to end up staying? Because we don't even know what sort of Arsenal we're going to have left when this thing's finished.
If there's one left.
I mean, with the pay cut, I don't know. With the pay cut issue, I don't know if he will stay. But I know Barcelona doesn't have any money, and they would rather sign a Neymar or Martinez than an Aubameyang, age-wise. Real Madrid, the whole coronavirus has put everybody in a financial mess. So I think he might end up staying because I don't see any much movement in the transfer window.
Now, Copy, the other day, right? I asked, we had Kalechi on, right, and we was doing a who's the best African player of all time, right? And he didn't include Kanu. Could you believe that he did not include Kanu? He forgot Kanu.
Wow.
Wow,
I'm speechless because aren't you? You know Samantha, don't you?
Huh?
Samantha.
Who's Samantha again?
His wife?
Kanu's wife.
Huh?
Amara, not Samantha, Amara.
Well, that's some entertainment.
You see? I'm not the only one. You see?
Can I just say I've already created a classic moment with that. Robbie, that's what you get for bringing Copy and Kalechi together. Anyway, simply moving on. Kanu should have been there, of course.
Yeah, it was a
Kanu should have been on there.
The ironic thing was that he messaged me the previous day, and I forgot that I didn't include him.
Especially as a gunner, shame on you. So who was on that list? It was
embarrassing.
Obi Mikel was trying to say was the best African player.
The best? Oh, sorry. I need to read. I need to keep reminding myself we're live. Okay. So, okay. Any particular reason you chose John?
Yeah. What? Any particular reason?
Yeah, I told you.
You're still trying to work it out.
Amount of trophies. That's what I told you. But I forgot counting, and I said, the amount of trophies. I forgot.
Okay. Well, I think Robbie, you need to revisit the list very soon.
Yeah. Well, this guy here, he says it's Drogba by a mile.
African player. Yeah, when you
stop it, you two don't be biased.
I'm going into Nigeria, right?
I know, that's it. You're too biased. You know what I mean? Everything. He didn't include SEN. He didn't include Drogba. He didn't include Eto'o. None of these guys, right? Always just thinking about, you know.
That's the way us Nigerians are. Niger
first.
But yeah, no, I definitely think Drogba is up there for sure. I think when you look at the history and what he's been able to achieve across the whole continent, He's played in so many different leagues. I think Drogba is definitely up there.
Yeah, Drogba definitely.
Toure,
And
Toure. Yeah.
Yaya Toure as well. Yaya Toure, you didn't include him either.
And Toure. Can include Vieira. Vieira is from Senegal. Leave all these French things. He's from Senegal. Can include
True.
C'est français.
Yeah.
And
do you?
also, sorry, just to touch on Nigerian players doing great. I'm so happy for Igalo as well, repping Niger over Manu. I think that's great.
Do you think they'll keep him? Because obviously,
There's a lot of rumors. Because I don't know. People are saying you go back to China. Don't know. What do you think, Kelechi?
I don't know, because China, if they're offering £400,000, that's too. That's too.
Yo, Kelechi, what's £400,000 in naira, please?
I don't even have a million.
Enough
just put
to
me
say.
on £1,000 a week. I'm okay. Just.
But he's done so well there, so we're very proud of him as Nigerians.
Yeah. You know what? I was thinking about him the other day, and I was like, he must be so gutted because he's come in there. It was obviously a temporary deal till the end of the season. He was doing well, and now with this, what's happened, they probably will move on from him. You know, at the end of the season.
Maybe, but maybe not as well, because the financial situation of coronavirus, we don't know. So.
Yeah. Let me ask you this now, very controversially, Kelechi, yeah? Earlier on, we had DT on, yeah? And I was asking him about flops of the season so far, right? Who's been the flop of the season in the Premier League? Now, he said somebody, and I was like, I'm going to bring this up with Kelechi later on when we do the evening show. He said Iwobi, which...
We are, I mean, you already know the bias of what's his name, DT. Iwobi has played. Iwobi stopped playing after during our game. That's when he got injured for like 2 months. He hasn't played for a long time. Then he came back, played 1 or 2 games against us, and that was it.
And he started as well, didn't he?
First half of the season, he was even scoring with his head. You understand? So these opinions are not. I won't take what he says personally. You know that.
Also, can I jump in?
All due respect to his opinion, but
can we argue as well that obviously Everton play is very different from Arsenal, and no matter what people say, it takes a very long time. New club, he's young.
I mean, I thought that was harsh because I agree with Kelechi. He started the season very well, and then, like you said, he got an injury.
Yeah.
Oops, sorry, your mic again. But yeah, he got that injury, but he started as well.
No, I mean, it's his opinion. I respect it, but obviously I can't agree with it. Nah.
Well, listen, I want to thank you both for coming on tonight. Really.
I mean, Copy says she's missing the day-to-day events she does and everything, but I just want to let her know that she's making major impact, but she doesn't know. So I had a friend that had coronavirus in Lagos, and she tuned into her house party she did with Global Citizens.
Yes.
So she messaged her, so she just basically said your friend has just led me through hospital. That's what she said.
Sorry, I didn't catch that. Sorry, just turn your mic down. I didn't hear that bit.
I must follow you there. So you're doing stuff. The impact is there. Just keep doing it.
Thank you
so much. And then Kofi also gave our dear nation 50 million naira, which is big money, to tackle coronavirus.
Well, it's not quite.
I'll be your foundation.
It's not the same as the Gallo's China money, but it's close enough.
So she has been doing well, for us as a nation to help tackle the virus. So I want to thank her especially in public. You understand?
Thank you, Kelechi. Hold on. Keep us entertained.
Wait a minute. Before you both go, I nearly forgot. There's a guy I need to find out more information about, right? A potential owner of Arsenal.
That's our godfather.
I want to find out more information about.
See, that's your link to the board.
Information.
Robbie, that's your link to the board. That's your link to
Hello, Uncle. Let's leave it on that note.
Is he serious? Is he seriously interested?
I can't comment on that. I can't. But how amazing would that be?
That'd be great. Well, I'm going to keep tapping you up for information. Don't worry about that. I'm going to
keep me up privately. Keep tuned in for an exclusive, guys. AFTV only.
All right, listen, thank you both very much for coming on. Cuppy, keep doing your thing. Kelechi, keep doing your thing as well. Really, really appreciate it. Thanks for coming on. And these guys, as Kelechi was saying, Cuppy been doing some incredible things as well for the Nigerian community, the wider African community with this coronavirus. So yeah, we're really, really proud of her. Well done. Keep that up.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Okay, bye.
Ooh. So listen, thank you very much. That was Cuppy there. That was Kelechi there. Good to hear from those guys. And keep donating, please, guys. Let me see what we've got up onto now. I really want to get to that 10 grand figure, because that 10 grand figure is where this guy DT, well, it was 6,125. We get DT to start colouring up that beard. I mean, really and truly, I'm still saying to myself that, you know, he's bottling it. He should be shaving that beard. The beard should be coming off, as far as I'm concerned, because that is what the original guy put to him. He put to him about that being, you know, that being removed. But DT's bottling it a bit. So keep those donations coming in. Really, really appreciate that. Let's get into your comments. Somebody asking it, is the fundraiser finished? Certainly not. We are going for 24 hours. Yeah, 24 hours is how long we're going to be going for. So it is 100% definitely not finished. So please just keep donating. We want to raise as much money as we possibly can. What's that one here? DT is a bottle job. Come on, DT, man. Shave it off, right? John says get DT and Ransom Bants on. Well, Ransom Bants and Flex are actually going to be up on United Stand tonight as well. So remember how this thing's working is a 24-hour stream. We've got 3 hours that we did this morning from 12 till 3. And United Stand took it from 3 till 6. And we're on now till 9 o'clock. And then United Stand are going to be taking it from 9 till 12. We'll take it over 12 till 3 in the morning. 3 till 6 will be United Stand. And then we'll be back 6 till 9 in the morning. And then taking it home will be on the last leg will be United Stand. So please, please, please try and stay with us for as much of the streams as you can. And keep donating. We are really, really appreciating the money that you guys are giving us at the moment. So please keep donating, keep getting that money in. Now, I've got another special guest. We've got loads of guests. And I really want to thank everybody who's been coming in and contributing as guests. You know, they're doing it for nothing. They're giving up their time and coming on to show support for the cause. And I've got another special guest. This is Mike Boateng. How you doing?
I'm good,
Mike Boateng, of course. I'm brilliant. Mike, of course, who everybody would know from being on Love Island. You know what? I'm going to first ask you, I need some isolation tips because, all right, it was a much better setting, but you was in isolation, weren't you?
Yeah. I mean, better settings, but yeah, pretty much isolation from the beginning of the year till now.
What's it like being on Love Island?
It's crazy, but it's like it's a once in a lifetime experience. You're literally with people who you've never met before, so you're just kind of interacting, getting to know different people, and you're just chilling, really. So it's cool. It's all right. It's a good experience.
More than chilling.
Yeah, obviously there's the beautiful women involved as well, so that's a bonus.
I mean, what's it like here? Going into that, going to the Love Island. Before you go, you know, regular guy, if you know your friends know you and that, you come out from that, everybody knows who you are. All of a sudden, all this fame right down on your head. Every time you go to the shop, people recognize you. Every time you go to a club, you got to be careful at what you do. I mean, what's it like?
It's strange, I can't lie, because literally, like you said, before Love Island, I was a normal guy, just doing my job, trying to mind my own business. Nobody knew who I was, and since I came out, And even from the minute I got out the villa in South Africa, people were like, they knew who I was, asking for pictures and stuff. So it's weird. It's weird. And if you're not used to it, it can kind of throw you off a little bit. But now I'm kind of just embracing it. Obviously, just like sharing my story with people as well, and just kind of just like loving life right now.
What was what's it been like for you? I mean, obviously you would have been doing a lot of you know, performance, you know, going to many different places and that. Now with this coronavirus thing, that must have halted a lot of your work as well.
Yeah, it has. We along with my management, we had so many plans, kind of like we had a whole schedule of to do things after the villa, and it's all just been put on hold. So we're kind of just having to work with it, see what we can do whilst we're inside as well. But you know, luckily for me, my management team are great, so we're kind of just making it work and seeing what we can do, and then planning ahead basically.
Now let's talk football. What's your team?
Hold on, I'm an Arsenal fan here, but before I do, I need to say this one thing here, Robbie, because you won't know this, but before I went on Love Island, before I got on the train to go out to fly to where I was going to go out, basically to the airport, I met you in the train station, and I ran after you and I asked for a picture.
Did I must have done it. I didn't.
Nah, you did. You did.
You ran after me, asking for a picture.
I ran after you, Robbie.
Right, I'm about to tell everybody you're my brethren now. You know what I mean? So that would get my. That's going to help my cool factor.
Yeah, no, I had to get that picture.
Bless, man, bless. That's the other thing now. You know what? The thing is about it as well now. You definitely can't go out because, you know, the people ain't going to want a social distance from you. They're going to be wanting your picture.
Nah, they are. But you know what people are doing? And I went to Asda yesterday, and people are kind of asking to take pictures, but they're staying 2 meters away. So I'm standing basically like 2 meters here, and they're just like getting me in the back.
Yeah, I've got a couple of those. Yeah, it's crazy. I can't believe the times we're living in. It's just really, really mad at the moment. It's crazy, man. So Arsenal fan, yeah?
Arsenal fan.
What have you made of us this season?
Boy, where do I start, man? To be honest, I think actually let me not sugarcoat it. We've been poor. We have been poor. But at the same time as well, because obviously Mikel Arteta is new, I feel like he's definitely got a plan, which I never saw with Unai Emery, to be honest. I never saw that. So with Mikel Arteta, I feel like he's got a plan. It's whether we have that backing from the ownership to kind of support his vision, because clearly he knows what he's doing. He just needs the finance now to get the players that we need.
Do you get worried? Why, obviously, this whole thing's going to affect every single club, and no club's any different to any club. But do you get worried that maybe it might be more damaging to a club like Arsenal than, say, some of the others?
Yeah, I get very worried because, like, kind of like Man City, you expect them straight after this kind of pandemic is over just to spend big, same as the Chelsea, same as like Tottenham, all these other clubs that have big money. But with Arsenal, it's like we know the money's there, but as fans, we're never confident that we will ever spend that money. So it's a bit weird.
Who's your favourite player at Arsenal?
Right now, it's man like Obama Black, like Obama what?
Obama what? Obama who? But will he be here at the end of the season? That's the thing, Mike.
I hope to God, I pray to God he is. I pray to God. But if he isn't, then fair play to him, man, because for the time that he's been here, he's literally been Arsenal through and through. He's the reason why we are where we are. Without him, think about it, where would we be?
Yeah, it's true. Very, very true. Let me I'm going to fire our quick fire questions at you, right, to get your opinions, right? I think I know the answer to the first one already. Aubameyang or Kane?
Aubameyang.
Mustafi or Phil Jones?
Mustafi.
Ndidi or Kante?
Ndidi.
Ndidi, all right. Tammy Abrahams or Danny Ings?
Tammy Abraham.
Tammy Abraham or Danny Ings?
Tammy Abraham.
Tammy Abrahams. Kevin De Bruyne or Bruno Fernandes?
Kevin De Bruyne.
Jack Grealish or Mason? You know what? I put here Mason Mount. That wasn't who I meant to say. I meant to say, what's his name?
I'm going to say Maddison, weren't you?
Madison, yeah. Jack Grealish or Madison?
Madison all day.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I prefer Grealish, you know.
You know what? I think they're both ballers. Just for if I was a manager, I'd prefer Maddison just for the type of play that the type of ball that I'd want to play.
I like Grealish because you know what I like about Grealish is he carries the ball, and he scores goals as well. Maddison is good. I don't know. I prefer Grealish. Although Grealish is off the pitch stuff. Adama Traore or Raheem Sterling.
Raheem Sterling.
Leno or De Gea.
That one is not as easy.
Yeah,
it's not as easy anymore because Adama Traore is doing his thing.
And I like Traore is a beast, man.
Yeah, he's a tank.
Leno or De Gea.
Leno.
Wan-Bissaka or Ricardo Pereira of Leicester.
Pereira,
okay. And Lewis Dunk or Harry Maguire?
Lewis Dunk.
And one final question for you before you go. Who would you most like to self-isolate with?
What out of all the players, anybody in the world?
No players, right? Anybody. You can choose anybody, male, female, whoever, player, whatever. Somebody, you're in lockdown for 6 weeks. That's the person you've chosen. You're going to be stuck with him for 6 weeks. Who would it be? It could be a player. It could be.
I'm gonna pick just so I don't get in trouble. I'm gonna pick my girl, Priscilla.
Boo, boo. All right, I'm gonna take it. Let's take your girl out of it. Who else? Not including your girl.
Do you know what? Yeah, I know Troops has the plug, so I'm gonna pick Troops. Are
you be dead? Are you be dead by the time of 6 weeks? Listen, Mike. Listen, thank you. Absolute pleasure. Really great to meet you, man. Listen, we got to link up when this thing's over. Yeah.
Definitely. Take care as well, man. Pleasure speaking to you.
Pleasure speaking to you. That's Listen, please keep donating. Keep donating. Where we at now? Listen, we've got to get to that 10 grand, man. Please. The reason, man, we've got to get this guy DT. It's gone up again. We're on 6,295. Big up Simon. Big up Daniel Brander. To Wayne. Electric Docs. The guys from Electric Docs, enough respect due. They've donated £100. Thank you very much. Come on, guys. Let's get this up to 10G because for me, DT's got to shave that beard. He's on about dyeing it. I want that shaved, really. But let's get that up to 10. That'd be absolutely fantastic if we could do that. As I said, keep those comments coming in as well. What I'd really love to find out from you guys is whereabouts in the world are you guys watching us from at the moment? Because we know that it's watched worldwide. So love to hear from wherever you guys are. Somebody's asking, when is the quiz? The quiz is going to be on United Stand coming up after us at 9 o'clock. Claude's going to be on the quiz. So make sure you check that out. I might be on the quiz as well if I've still got any stamina left. So make sure you check that out as well. So the quiz coming up later on. So that's going to be over on United Stand. United Stand guys doing a great job as well earlier. I hope you watch their stream. And as I keep explaining, how we're doing it is 3 hours here, 3 hours on United Stand. 3 hours here, 3 hours on United Stand. That's how we're bouncing it from place to place. All right. This find out where you guys are watching us from. This guy's Boris Johnson. He's watching from Ireland. Enough respect due to the Irish crew. Big up Ola in Norway, who's watching. Johanra over there in Bangladesh, who's watching. Wally from Wood Green. Big up. You know what I mean? You can be watching from anywhere, man. You know what I mean? Watching from anywhere. From Trinidad, we've got people watching. We've got people watching from over in South Africa, from over in Israel, big up, Uganda, Manchester. Nothing wrong with that, man. Big up everybody in Manchester. My brother lives up there in Manchester. Respect to everyone from living up there in Manchester. Shout out to Los Angeles, to Romario. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that other part though, but listen, appreciate the super chat. That money will go towards a great cause. So respect due to you. Red Devils TV there from London. So people watching from there. We got from Turkey, St. John's Wood, Nepal, from Nigeria. So people watching from all over Guatemala. Jimmy King here from Jamaica. Aluta from Namibia. And Mystic Knight from Brentwood, Essex. Love that, man. Love that. So we got people tuning in and watching from all over, from North Carolina, everywhere, right? So, and we can't miss out South London, you know what I mean? All right. So Hong Kong, you know, all over the world right now, tuned into the stream. Southampton, Denmark, from Ethiopia, the Vatican City. Are you sure? Sweden, Linfield in Ireland, India, Leeds. You are watching us from everywhere right about now. And we really, really appreciate it. Now, I've got another guest to bring in. We've got Daniel Cutting.
Hey, man, Bobby.
How you doing, man? What's going down, bro?
Really good, thank you. Yeah, all is well. How are you?
It's great to have
seen you in the flesh.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's been too long, mate. It's been too long. What have you been up to?
I've been keeping busy, you know. I never stop. I've got an 11-month-old boy, so that keeps me busy enough.
True. That's very true.
I'm just teaching him as many skills as I can at the minute. He's struggling, but I think we'll get there soon. You know, give him time, you know.
It must be hit you up because I know you're a guy. You're always traveling all over the world, all over the UK, doing your thing. For this lockdown now, you know, it must be tough on you.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously, a lot of the work's kind of been cancelled and stuff. All my kind of live shows and events and stuff like that, kind of have all gone for the time being. But it's cool. I got a little trip into Dubai in January, which I was quite happy about. I made a ton of videos there, and I've still got some of them which I've been pushing out kind of on my YouTube channel. Obviously, now we're kind of in lockdown, but I've been busy. You know, like I'm still making videos from home, a couple of videos a week. I made a mini golf course in my back garden in one of my latest videos. I'm basically being like a big kid. Do you know what I mean? I'm just doing all the things that I'd want to do and think, you know what, I'll just film it. I've been out there putting like different challenges and obstacles in the garden, recreating pro players stay-at-home skills. So the content's still been coming in, which is nice. So and obviously spending a lot of quality time with the family as well, which is great.
And it's brilliant because you know, one of the things that a lot of people have been doing over this whole lockdown period is things like skills and stuff like that, which obviously that's your trade. So, you know, a lot of people have been watching your stuff on, you know, YouTube and on Instagram as well.
Yeah, definitely. I've been going live on YouTube. I didn't do any this week actually, but normally I go live on YouTube like twice a week. One's like a fun like challenge around the house. You know, I've done like a foot golf type thing. I did a foot volley in the back garden. But then I also do tutorials as well, where I'm teaching people if they want to learn like football skills and stuff, so they can be practicing this stuff. So then when we're out of lockdown, they can obviously take on their mates and impress their friends with different skills and stuff like that. So it is good, but it is challenging as well, as I know that you felt as well, because I've watched a few of your things, and it can be tough because you just got to keep your mind kind of active. And I'm so used to being active, going to the gym, getting out there, you know, playing football, filming videos. So it's just like trying to keep the routine as much as possible so that I can still sleep at night. You know, I think that's what a lot of people are finding. Their sleep hasn't been as good and stuff like that. So trying to get through it.
And obviously you're a big Arsenal fan as well. You must be missing watching the team.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't the best reason for us, was it? I mean, it's quite nice. It's quite nice to have a break, Robbie. Actually,
you're about the third person who said that you know it's less stress.
Yeah, I've got no. If I had hair, like, do you know what I mean? I probably would have kept it, but you know what I mean. It's I'm definitely looking forward to just football coming back. Obviously, I'd love the Premier League to come back as soon as possible. I think it's still going to be a while yet. We're a way off it, but yeah, there's nothing quite like watching live football. I find myself. I just went in and there was a bit of football on today, and all of a sudden, you know, that instant came from my head. Was like, this is like what? Oh no, it's not live. It's from 1992, and I've got to rewatch this. Oh, it's just a bit of a nightmare.
It's not the same, is it?
It's just not the same. No.
Listen, Dan,
is amazing.
You've worked with some of the biggest names in football. Name drop some of the people you've worked with.
Well, we've worked together
when you
quite a bit. I mean, there's not much bigger than you, is there, in terms of, you know?
man, proper people, man. Come on, some of those big footballers that you've worked with.
Oh, right. Okay. I thought you just wanted me to reel off the skillful ones like yourself. Oh no, I've worked with Neymar. I've worked with Gareth Bale. I've done stuff with. I did a thing with Adidas with Messi a couple of years ago where I had to introduce Messi on stage to the world's media for the new World Cup ball that was going live. So getting to meet players like that and do stuff like I've worked with Zidane, Pele. I've body doubled in adverts for Steven Gerrard, David Beckham, Kaká, Thomas Muller. Get to meet all these guys and.
What did you double for Beckham?
I did some stuff for Beckham, yeah, where I've doubled for Muller, Kaká, Beckham, and Gerrard, all in different commercials and stuff online. So when it looks like they're doing the skills, it's actually my feet doing it.
So sometimes when we're looking at those commercials and we're thinking, wow, brilliant ball play by Beckham and that, it's you.
A lot of the time they get doubles in. I mean, professional players, as we've seen, you know, I said they've been, you know, doing it. Pogba's been doing his skills at home, and you've got very skillful footballers out there, but yeah, they're not as good at the skills as kind of freestylers are in general. So probably they can pay us a lot less for one. They can have the pros on, you know, on set for a bit less time, and they can guarantee they're going to get the quality over and over again. I mean, I worked with Neymar now about 4 times, and he is unbelievably skillful. Like a couple of times I said, mate, you know, I'll leave you to it. Like you don't need me to help you, but they get quite nervous on set. And even though they, you know, play in front of 100,000 people sometimes, it's a very different feel when they're on set and they're actually in a different environment. So sometimes it's me to be there to kind of help them through, show them some skills to do, coach them a little bit. But yeah, a lot of the time they kind of like cut my, it's amazing what they can do. 1 minute, you know, it's Kaká sitting there on a bench doing it, and he's actually just sitting there and moving his upper body, and then I doing all the tricks and stuff for the lower body, and they'll just cut the two together.
Who would you say is the most skillful footballer you've ever worked with?
Definitely Neymar.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've worked with Pogba as well. Pogba will probably be up there. Some of the stuff that he's been doing on his Instagram has been decent. Like a couple of things even had me like, oh wow, he's done that in a different way that I didn't even know he could do. So I was trying it, and I did a video recently where I recreated the best pro players' stay-at-home skills. But Pogba definitely had me scrambling a little bit to do some of the stuff he did. But Neymar's definitely up there. I've never met Ronaldinho, but I can imagine if I was to meet him, he would be just the best by far. Just some of the stuff that he does isn't even necessarily that difficult. Like I could do the same trick as Ronaldinho, but he'd just make it look so much better. It's that like flair and the way that he does it with such ease and confidence. Like it's just class, isn't it?
And how much do you have to practice to like, you know, when you like nail a new skill?
Yeah.
How long will that take you to practice that, to get it down?
I mean, it can take a while. It's kind of one of those things. If it's like a different variation of a skill I already know, I might be able to get it quite quickly. Like some tricks I've been practicing for, you know, practice for an hour and I pick it up. But other tricks, you know, I remember when I first learned to juggle the football on the soles of the feet when you're laying on your back and you're kind of doing that like bicycle thing with the ball on the sole of your foot. Like I'd practice for like 6 months to perfect that trick every single day. Like I'd be laying in bed at night and do an hour of just trying to balance it on the sole of my foot and it would fall off. And it's that just repetitive, like just constantly practicing. Yes, I'm naturally good at skills, but if you want to learn a specific skill which is so different to anything you might have done in football, it takes an awful lot of practice. So I don't get, well, I was going to say I don't get as much time these days to practice, but turns out at the minute I've got a lot of time. I'm finding myself freestyling most days when I haven't done it.
You're going to come out of this with about 10 new things.
I know, but I've got so much content, like people saying, oh, can you do this skill? And I always used to say, oh, I couldn't do that. And now I'm like, actually, I've had the last few weeks, I've been practicing, now I can do it. So there are obviously positives of being in this, the place that we're in as well at the minute.
Really? Can you see the league coming back?
I kind of want to think yes. I heard some stuff come out about the Champions League. They're looking to play that over the summer, aren't they? Potentially. I think it's going to be too much for it all to happen over the summer, isn't it? So I don't know. I guess it's obviously we're in another 3 weeks now at least, and it's probably going to go, I'm thinking, end of May before anything's back to normality. Well, it's going to be a lot longer, but yeah, I want to say yes. I want to believe that it will be. Maybe they can squeeze some stuff in June. I don't want to see Liverpool win the league at the end of the day, so I'm not that fussy. But wait, you know, if they have to just skip this season and forget about it, I'm sure we can forget about it as well.
You just made a lot of Liverpool fans really angry, you know.
I know. Sorry, guys. I know this is for all sports, isn't it? This isn't just for Arsenal fans. You know, they deserve to win the league. I'm sure they'll be absolutely gutted. It's just like the world almost saying that they don't want Liverpool. The universe has spoken. Liverpool can't win the league.
Well, listen, Daniel, thank you very much for coming on today. Just remind people of your channel again.
Yeah, so the channel is just my name, Daniel Cutting. And then all my social media is DC Freestyle. So, yeah, feel free to check it out, guys. Robbie, thanks so much for having me on, bro. Amazing.
Thank you very much.
Amazing
Appreciate
call. I hope they raise a lot of money tonight. So.
Yeah, appreciate that. Thank you. That's Daniel Cutting. Check out his channel. It's brilliant. He's one of the best freestylers out there. And he's got some phenomenal skills. And very interesting what he's saying there, that, you know, he body doubles for a lot of those guys in those adverts and stuff like that. So when you see sometimes when they're putting those skills down, it's not necessarily all them. It's these guys. So that's really, really interesting. And that was funny what he said about the universe not wanting Liverpool to win the title. It might seem like that way to some Liverpool fans at the moment. Definitely speaking to Chris earlier from Redmen TV, he wants that title badly. Keep donating, guys. Keep those donations coming in. Remember, the link is in the description. You can also scan the codes there. Please keep those donations coming in. We want to raise as much money as we possibly can for the NHS. That is who it is going for. That's why we're doing this 24-hour live stream. Please get involved and keep donating. We really, really, really appreciate it. It's absolutely brilliant what you guys are doing. You know, I hear people coming on, oh, well done for what we're doing. No, what you are doing is absolutely amazing. The money that you are giving, and you're giving it to some amazing people, because it's all going to go to the NHS. These are the superstars at the moment. You know, we talk about, we big up footballers, we big up sports people, and they're our heroes. And they're our heroes because we see them on the pitch and they do so many great things, and we absolutely love them. But the unsung heroes, not even just at the moment, these people, remember, they do it all the time. It's just that it's been highlighted now, are these footballers. Are these people who work in the NHS. They are absolutely brilliant and working in health services right across the world. I mean, they're absolutely brilliant. And right now, as I said, they're right on the front line. They are the people that are like literally getting in front of us and say, yeah, you guys stay back. We're going to take this on. And every day they go out there, they risk getting the virus. And they know that as well. They know that as they step through that door to go to work, they are risking getting the virus. And they still do it. They still go out there and they still do it. And that's why I've got so much respect for them. And that's why we're doing what we're doing today. We're trying to raise as much money as we can to help them out. And, you know, it's absolutely brilliant what you guys have been doing. So keep it coming in. Keep those funds coming in. And as I said, it doesn't matter how much you donate, you know, whether you've only got a little bit or whether you've got a lot, it doesn't matter. Please just keep donating. Now, another guest on the line here. We've got Lee. How are we doing? We've got Lee, Leicester fan.
Oh, man.
As many people always say, he looks just like Jamie Vardy. He's like...
You watching here straight away. First thing you did.
I can never resist it because you do. You still look like Jamie Vardy. Even with Vardy getting a bit older, you still look like him. But Lee, fantastic to have you on today. How's things been? I mean, you must be really peed off. I mean, Leicester were having such a great season.
Yeah, it's going to cost the club probably around 120 million. That was roughly the profits of the last time we was in the Champions League after we won the Premier League, which was a fantastic debut season in the Champions League for Leicester. We did really, really well. I thought we was quite unlucky to get put out by Atletico, to be honest. But yeah, I think we will really miss out if this season isn't finished, which it should be. Season definitely should be, Robbie. 100%. Got to be finished.
What do you think should happen if it ain't finished? Let's just say, right? Let's just say they're unable to get the season finished. What happens then?
it's just going to be chaos across the board, isn't it? It's not just the Premier League. I think it will be all the way through the leagues, because it's like it's almost waste of time. Everyone's just wasted all that sponsorship, all that money that all these teams get from deals and TV rights and blah 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 blah. It's just all wasted, all completely wasted. And I feel sorry for some sides that are really fighting, to come up for the first time in a long time. Look at Leeds, for instance. They've been out of the Premier League for what, over 10 years, and this is they're finally not slipping up, and this has happened.
We got a Leeds fan coming on in the morning, and I'm going to be questioning him about that. I mean, I already know he's gutted, but even for you guys, you're having the season of your life. I mean, apart from when you won the league, third, looking good for that third as well. Kind of there's a big gap between you and fourth place, looking good. That's why I'm asking you, if the season did finish now, should it finish and they say, right, whatever place you're in, that's what it is? I mean, none of the other teams would go for that, obviously, because they'd all be claiming that they could also have got there. But
exactly, that's the problem you've got. Technically, Liverpool are not. They've not won it. They've not won it yet. I think they need 2 wins and Man City to lose a game. Is that right? But they have not won it. Simple as that. And you can't go on the fact that if Liverpool are top, give them the trophy, because that ain't fair to the bottom either. Because Villa ain't out of it. They've got, look at the amount of money they've spent this season. You can't just dump them out now. It wouldn't be right.
How good's Brendan Rodgers been?
Insane. And he loves it here in Leicester as well. I've met him a couple of times now at, I don't know if you know Leicester much, Braggy Park is a national park. He loves it there. He just loves the culture around here.
And he's doing great things. I mean, we were talking earlier about, actually last night, about literally all week, we've been doing these different live streams, and one name that comes up a lot with Arsenal fans is Ndidi.
Cheers, by the way.
Cheers. But that comes up a lot, and people keep saying we need to go and get Ndidi. We need to go and get Ndidi. Would Leicester sell Ndidi?
Listen, I went on a different channel quite a while ago, the Football Terrace, talking about Ndidi, and I got ripped because I said in a few seasons it'll be as good as Kante. That's what I said. Right now, he's a baller, isn't he? Let's get this right. He's like the top Europe interceptions. It's insane. The guy's insane. He's getting better and better. I think he's got more years left in him than Kante as well. So I don't know. At the minute, if you watch Leicester for 90 minutes, which not many people do because you're watching your own side, but if you watch Leicester for 90 minutes, I swear this season he's been as good as Kante was at Leicester when we won the Prem. I'm not saying he's better than Kante right now. I am not saying that. I'm saying he will be on par with N'Golo Kante.
I'll tell you another player that you've got that I really, really rate that goes under the radar.
I know you're going to say. Ricardo
Pereira.
Best right back in the league.
You think he's the best right back in the league?
Yeah. He won't be at Leicester for long. He won't be at Leicester for long.
You don't think he'll be at Leicester for long? How much did you pay for him?
I can't remember off the top of my head, mate. I really can't. All I remember is getting a text off a fan from Porto, because I made quite a few fans from friends and stuff, when we were in the Champions League, and they were saying like, you've got one of our best players here, kiddo. You know what, he's brilliant. He's a complete right back, and I think unfortunately for Ben Chilwell, he's getting a lot of stick because of how good Ricardo is. Chilwell's looking not as good if you compared the two, but they're different players, different style.
There's lots of players that all the big boys. I mean, the only good thing that might come out of this whole coronavirus thing for Leicester is that you'll be able to hang on to some of these players because maybe the money ain't going to be out there to go and get them. But there's quite a lot of players that the big boys are hovering around. The other one, of course, is Maddison.
Yes.
They're all looking at him. How good is he?
I thought it was better than Grealish, but I don't know. I think I might have changed my mind. I don't know. Where are you with Maddison and Grealish?
I've said I kind of prefer Grealish because I just think Grealish is a bit of better at carrying the ball.
Yeah.
So that's why I give him the edge. But you're not having it.
I don't know. Maddison's. I think Maddison's probably technically better, but I think Grealish is more of he carries the team more. He gets the team through the struggle, if you know what I mean. Mind you, Grealish is probably a bigger fish and at the minute a smaller pond at Villa than Leicester. Leicester, I think, are an ambitious side now, trying to establish ourselves as a top 6 contender. I think Leicester, and we're slowly getting there. You know, got some great things coming to the club. £100 million training facility that's in the works. Should be ready for whenever the next season starts, Robbie. And there's a ground extension as well, going from 33,000 to 43,000. So the owners are, ambitious.
So Yonchu's another one.
No,
that's another one that everyone's hovering over.
Lord Farquaad.
He's good.
You've seen the memes, right?
Yeah.
Oh dear. The 3-legged Leicester player. That's what we call him. I don't know where that come from.
I don't want to know. But he's a good player, isn't he?
Yeah. The weirdest thing is, he was sat on the bench for nearly a full season under Claude Puel because Harry Maguire was here. Harry Maguire walks out, he steps in, and we don't even miss Harry Maguire. It's weird, Great player, Harry Maguire. Top defender. But we replaced him with someone off the bench. It's weird. It shouldn't have happened, but it has.
This guy here says, Vardy, did Brendan Rodgers not tell you not to drink beer, even though there is no football on now?
I tell you what, your channel is very engaging. I tell you that. I gotta love it.
Do you still get that? Do you still get that everywhere? Everyone's stopping you and thinking you're Vardy.
I don't think that's going to stop for a long time, is it? Let's be honest.
So you still get that? Do you get people genuinely come up and say you're saying to them, I'm not Vardy, and they'll be like, no, you are.
No, probably not as much anymore. Not in England anyway. If I go abroad, I still get it quite a lot. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You got to play on it.
and he's still doing the business, isn't he, Vardy?
Yeah, he's top striker. People have said he's a one-season wonder, but every season he's bagged 18 to 22 goals ish every season. That's not an average forward, is it?
Yeah, he's done brilliantly. And when you study the guy and you look where he's come from, it's unbelievable, isn't it?
It's a story. I think the movie still will be made at some point as well about him. It's got to.
And how badly are you missing the football?
Oh man, don't honestly. It's what are we all doing with ourselves? Like the fact that we're sat here looking forward to the Euro '96 being replayed on ITV says it all, doesn't it? We are missing the footy bad.
Yeah, we are, man. We are missing it badly. Well, listen,
this what you're doing here, Robbie, is absolutely fantastic. I want to say well done, mate. Really, 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 really well done.
No, thank you for contributing. I really, really appreciate it. And listen, can't wait for the city. One of the games I was looking forward to actually was you guys coming down to our place, because I think that game was that would have been this weekend's game.
Oh man, that's mad.
That would have been this weekend's game for Arsenal. We were playing Leicester.
Well, the last 2 times I've seen you down here, I think we've smashed you 3-0 or more. So I'm just saying, I'm thinking maybe you want some sort of revenge at some point.
We always beat you at our place, though. That's the thing.
Yeah. Even when we won the league, man.
But not only that, it's always a very good game.
Yeah.
So that's why I was really looking forward to that game. But
there's some mad Leicester Arsenal games, isn't there? Leicester Arsenal games have been mad for years. Yeah. You remember the 3-3, the Dennis Bergkamp? Yeah. I mean, that game's legendary.
I even remember a couple of seasons ago. It was the first game of the season.
It was like 5-2 or something to you or something.
No, not the 5-2. That game at the Emirates.
The comeback, the ultimate comeback.
Yeah.
That was bonkers.
So wow. I mean, it's mad. But Lee, thank you very much for coming on today. Really appreciate it, mate. And look forward to. Well, I don't know. That game might even get put back on, but behind closed doors. We'll still talk about it anyway.
We're still doing stuff over on our side. We do Leicester Fan TV if anyone's interested. We do loads of stuff. We talk to ex-players. We've done stuff this week. We've spoke to Brian Dean and Ewan Roberts. Do you remember Ewan Roberts, Robbie?
Ewan Roberts, yeah. Ewan Roberts, yeah.
We've had him on. We've got loads coming on. We've got the Mad Dog Martin Allen, the ex-manager, coming on as well. So yeah, check over if you're interested in that. Have a look and follow us at Leicester Fan TV.
Listen, thank you. Very appreciate it a lot, Lee, man. Keep up the good work, mate.
Enjoy. Well done, mate.
Thank you. That's Lee Chapman there from Leicester Fan TV, massive Leicester fan, Vardy lookalike, but listen, a great guy in his own right. Now, listen, let's keep smashing that target. Where are we at now? Let me get to it. Oh, we're up to, we've got up again, 6,392. Please, please, please keep donating. Let me big up some of the people that been giving. Lewis D, who also put a message. He said, huge respect to all the NHS staff and everyone else helping out the country in this awful time. Thanks for everything. We will never forget this. Stephen there, he said, we're going to beat this on AFTV. Josh Cunningham, thanks to you for donating. Karen for donating. There's an anonymous donation there, 30 quid. You know, Chioma, well done. Joseph, Sayad, Simon, you know, so many people giving. There's Daniel, Daniel Brander, Wayne. Well done to all you guys for donating. Remember, get over to the page right now, the Just Giving page. This is what it's all about tonight. Get on there and please donate whatever you've got. And you know, it's going to a great, great cause. Chris P says, please read, 4th time super chat. Would you and Lawrence do a stream together if we hit 10K? Love you both, and would be great to see you guys bury the hatchet. Do it for charity, my Don. Of course I'd do that, man. Come on. And of course, I saw Lawrence earlier on. He was over on United Stand with Mark. Some great stuff as well, actually. So make sure you check them out after we are done at 9 o'clock. We're going to be handing the baton over to them. But right now, in the spirit of things, I told you, it's all about football here today. It's all about unity. It's all about unity. It's not just about Arsenal, Man United, Chelsea, whatever. You know what I mean? It's all about unity. We just had a Leicester fan on. So I thought, let's get a Tottenham fan
Come
on.
on, Jay. You know that way there, fam. About time, lad. You get me, fam. Nah. First things first, though, Rob. Yeah, big man thing, yeah. You're lucky this is for the NHS, blood. You know them way there. NHS with a H, rude boy. Cause I told you, blood. Yo, expressions. What time would you like to come on? I told you, fam. I told you afternoon time. What time is it, Robbie, blood? What time is it?
You never told me the afternoon time.
I did. Read the WhatsApp, blood. What time is it now?
It's 8 o'clock.
Exactly, blood. You treat me like some side dish, bruv. Coleslaw, halloumi, cheese,
This is
fam.
the prime
I'm a main
time.
course, blood. I'm steak, fam. Steak expressions, rude boy. How dare you, blood? How
This is
dare
prime
you, fam?
time.
This is for
This
the
is prime
NHS,
time.
fam. Yeah, it is
This
prime
is
time.
prime
How do you know?
time.
Yeah. How do you know that I didn't have plans, blood?
Well,
You're lucky
where
I'm in
you going?
isolation, fam.
Where
What do you
you
feel am I
going?
going? I'm on my best behavior. I ain't Jack Grealish. Yeah, wait, Def. I ain't Kyle Walker. Less of that, blood. You know what I mean, fam? You telling
Exactly.
me
You
anyway.
ain't going nowhere, are you? You're going to be here. You're going to be here all night. I've got
Yeah,
troops ain't even coming on till midnight.
Yeah. See what? How come you didn't bring man on at midnight, fam? You know them way there.
Listen,
Man could have been that's prime. Now that's prime time. You get me? I could turn up, bruv, with my red eyes like Scott Summers from the X-Men, fam, and we can do this, blood. You know them way there, fam.
Here, and on the list, right? On that list, it had that time as well, and you chose a different time. I'm trying to do it to suit you, you know.
Say no more, blood. You know them way there. What, it's 8 o'clock, yeah? After 8 oozing, baby. You know them way there. We're in the building. Shout out everyone inside. Shout out the NHS, AFTV. I know it's more than AFTV inside. United Stand. Big up everyone. This is a great cause, blood. You know them way there. You knew I had to be involved.
No, respect for coming on, man. Respect for coming on. There's a guy that says, oozing army.
Yes, big up my G, you know. He knows. Hashtag oozing army, you know. That man saw me hold Pepper earlier on FIFA. They were laughing me out, fam, but it is what it is.
What you been up to?
Big man ting, Rob. Like, I've been pretty much streaming. I've been streaming, doing FIFA, my X-Files. I dropped my X-Files video. You know what I mean? Living with your woman in isolation. You know them way. Have you ever seen the X-Files, blood?
I haven't. No.
They pop off, you know, blood. That one's sitting on 40K already, blood. Trust me, bro. Man are telling me I should do stand-up comedy and that, but I'm just telling them real stories, bruv, that are getting me in trouble in real life. Trust me, fam. That's why I end up single like a dollar bill, Rob, fam. Yeah, I'm trying to have kids. I told you, blood.
I love this guy, man.
Let me tell you what I did do today. Let me tell you what I did do today. So obviously, like I went to see my mum, innit? Like I went to see my mum, and obviously I sang to her through a window, blood. You know them way there, you know the Kanye West tune, the only one I listen to. Hey mama, I wanna scream so loud for you. Cause I'm so proud of you. All of that, fam. I sang and I danced for her, blood. You know them way there. I didn't go in. None of that, fam. It was all through the window, fam. Then I went back to my yard. And 2-2s now, she phoned me and she dropped me some food, blood. Some fried chicken, blood. I ate the whole thing. I ended the stream, fam, and I ate the food. Ask the fans. I ended the stream early, fam. Big up Mumsy. Mama oozing, fam. She looking after me, blood.
Yeah, respect,
Corona
man,
free,
respect.
blood. Stay at home.
Listen, we had Dom on earlier, right? West Ham fan, and he had it, and he was telling us about how horrible it is when you you get corona. You know, it was horrible when he was talking about it. You know, I mean, it's serious. This thing's serious, man. I don't know why people are looking to break this thing, because the longer we listen, nobody likes what's happening at the moment and all this isolation stuff, but you've got to protect the NHS.
Exactly.
You've got to bring these the amount of cases that there are. It's about bringing that down so that they can get this thing under control.
That's what I'm saying, boy. Like these people just need to work together at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? People need to work together at the end of the day and just stay at home and let's just get this dealt with. Because boy, man can't be doing this all year. You know what I'm saying? Bruv, this year is cancelled for man. You know them way there. I wanted to go Jamaica, blood. You get me, fam? I'm so glad I didn't book the flight, bruv. I know they would have took my money, fam. You know what I mean? Faster than my season ticket money, and I still didn't get to see that stadium when they told me I'd see it, blood. Do you know what I mean? I had to wait about a year later, fam. It was peak, fam. So I know, like, regardless, like, people just need to work together, get this done. And yeah, man, like, for me, I don't like being at home. Big man thing. I don't like being at home. I like being out, being able to do what I want to do. I like seeing my family. That's another main thing. Because you know what I mean? Life's short, fam. You never know what can happen. So like, I miss being able to do what I can do, but it is what it is. Just do it. You know what I mean?
What's this here? Expressions, do you feel robbed of victory against Drifty in fans?
Yes, blood. 100%, fam. 100%, blood. Yeah, bring that up, blood. You know them way there, man, like Swole Campbell, fam. He robbed me, blood. How dare he, blood? How dare Robbie, fam? You get me, bro? Oh, your winner's Drifty. Are you dumb? Even you were laughing at the corner. Bruv, I lit him up, fam. Butterkiss settings, fam. Man made Sucre from Prison Break beat me on live Channel 4 TV. You embarrassed me. That's why Channel 4 ain't giving me a show. That's why Channel 4 ain't giving me a show, because you screwed man over, fam. Black Tim Allen, home improvement, bruv. Get the screws out, blood. You screwed me over, Robbie, fam. I'll never forgive you for that, blood. Nah, that's right, bro. Nah, bro.
That guy Claude's a troublemaker, you know. Why are you going to bring that up now?
Nah, he's right, blood. He's right. He's 100% right. He's right, fam. You know them way. How dare you, Robbie, bruv? Everyone knows you screwed me over. Go watch that on YouTube right now. Expressions versus Drifty, Liverpool versus Tottenham. Obviously, everything I said don't stand now because we're holding Pepper from Liverpool. You know what I mean? Let's just get me.
I had foresight. I could see what was going to happen. That's why you see I was right in the end, wasn't it?
No. Less of that. You can't see into the future, bruv. You just want to screw man over, innit? You didn't want to give the win to a Tottenham fan. That's what it was, innit?
Listen, the thing is about it, right? The thing is about it. Your team was kind of a bit in the decline before this thing. Nobody's glad with what's happened. It done you lot a bit of a favour. You lot were sliding down, man.
Yeah, big man thing, bro. All I'm saying is, we should have the NHS sponsor next season, fam. The amount of injuries that we've had, blood. You know them way there, and how the corona thing has benefited us. We should have the NHS sponsor next season. Big man thing. NHS Hotspur. I done told you lot already, fam. Every man's on the shelf. We always got all these injuries, bruv. But big man thing. If we start the season back when they say they're gonna start it back, Kane's back. I think Sissoko's back. We can start it. I'm not saying let's void the season. I just want my players back.
For how long's he back though? For how long?
For how long he's back?
Well, you heard that interview with him the other day. He wants out. He wants to leave.
That's not what he said, fam. Stop putting words into his mouth, bruv. You know what I mean? He may not speak clearly, but he definitely never said that, blood. You're lying. You know them way there. You're lying. He never said that, fam.
All right, calm down.
He never. No, don't put words into his mouth, bruv. You know what I mean? You're making out. Nah. Less of that.
He wants out.
What about your own players, fam? What about Fashion Week? He wants out, blood. What about Fashion Week? He wants out, bruv. You would have let you say Laron. Man like Hector Bellerin, fam. Hector Bellerin, he wants out, fam. He wants out.
Who told you that? Who told you that?
Who told me that, blood? He's been telling everyone, fam. You know what I mean? He's been telling everyone. What do you mean, bruv? Of course he wants out, bruv. I heard he went to Spain. He went to the plug, fam, and he was telling everyone, bruv, he wants to leave. He wants to join El Barcelona, bruv. No, he does. You know what I mean?
All right, look, we've got a question here. Jib says, what two current players from Arsenal would you take at Spurs? And Robbie, same question. What two Spurs players would you take at Arsenal?
If I had to, obviously, because we're in a good giving. Like you spent your P's and that, man. Gave a jacks to the NHS. I appreciate it. Like obviously, I'll say no, bruv. Big man thing. I said I don't want none of them, bruv. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna answer your question. I'm gonna be fair in it. Like current squad, I'll probably say. I'll probably say. Who have you lot got? Who's your defender left? He ain't really proven, blood. You know what? I'll say Aubameyang and Torreira, blood. Them two. That's what I'd say.
The thing is about it is that the players that I'd take from you guys, we don't really need. So it would obviously be Harry Kane and Son. Yeah. But then we got so many players who can already play in those positions.
Yeah, but we don't need Aubameyang, fam.
I think before I would have took Alderweireld. But what I've seen of him recently, man, he's lost it.
Yeah, well, boy. Yeah, you can try to talk about man's defense, but you know that you got no back, fam. Your kitchen apron FC, blood. As bad as my defense is, we're Texaco, we're open 24 hours. Your kitchen apron FC, you flatter to deceive. You think you got a back, but it's not there, blood.
Come on, man.
You know them
yourself. You know yourself that Alderweireld, he's lost it.
I know yourself that your back's like what? Miley Cyrus, yeah, I do know that, fam. You're right about that.
You know what? You know what, right? Earlier on, a guy said, I put the question out there, flop of the season. And a guy came back and he said, Ndembele. You've gone quiet now. Because you know that.
Connection problem. Man, hey, ride the bike faster outside, blood. Ride the bike faster outside. Power up the thing, blood. You get me? I can't hear Rob and that. They're trying to embarrass me and that.
Yeah, okay, I hear you on that one. He has, but you know what? The thing is about it, right, is that when you bought him, I was thinking, wow.
Big man thing, yeah. Let me fight his case. Let me fight his case. Ndombele is a gravy footballer, bruv. He could walk into a Barcelona right now, any other team right now, and do absolute bits. There's something wrong with his fitness, yeah. A man know that for a fact. They said he's been having some dental problems or whatnot. I don't know anything about that, yeah. But on the ball, he's unplayable, bruv. He's unplayable. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, the fossil football that we've been playing is... What is my day? He's my man. Are you laughing at Robbie, blood? He's my man, blood. How dare you, Kaz? How dare you, Sam?
His fitness is because he's got a toothache.
No, I never said that. Obviously, I'm looking a bit like Deontay Wilder right now, but don't let me be saying them excuses and that, blood. It was the heavy suit, blood. It was the heavy suit, fam. It was the heavy suit, blood. It was the heavy suit.
Deontay Wilder. Come on.
No. All right, boom. No. All right. Hey, bruv, listen.
So we get a feeling he might be a better player.
Bruv, all I'm saying is, yeah, that the man is a great footballer, innit? He is, fam. Like, it just hasn't worked out for him so far, blood. That's what it is, innit? Like, his highlight for us is him shaving his head, looking like Conte, and then going right back and having the same hairline, blood. He did well for that, blood. Big man thing. You know what I'm saying? Can't be shaving it all off. It might not come back. Look at you, blood. It's a mad thing, fam.
Lincoln says, Expressions, man, how the hell are you not doing live at the Apollo? You must be carrying a thesaurus or something. Love you, bro. Let's support our NHS. And I appreciate you coming on today, man, because, you know, I mean, this is for a great cause, you know, and people have really...
I'm not going to lie, I came on a bit earlier and I saw someone... I don't know, fam. He looked like Black Panther, fam. He looked like flipping Wakanda Forever, fam. You know them way there. And I was like, I don't know who he was. You know what I'm saying? And I saw people in the comments saying expressions. So like, man felt I had to make an entrance, blood. I should have entrance music, blood. You didn't even give me a proper intro, blood. No drum roll, no nothing like that, fam.
You had two slots. You had the slot earlier, right? That right, and plus as well, when I put the thing out to you, you responded late.
Robert Lyle, how dare you, fam? How dare you, blood? No, what do you mean I responded late, fam? What do you mean I responded late?
Everybody else come back to me quick time.
I replied when I got the blue ticks, I replied, fam. You know them way there. I did, blood. Don't lie, fam. I did. I replied, blood. You know what I'm saying? Trust me, bro. Man, say I'm active, baby.
I'm gonna run those quick fire questions that I've been running at some people. Yeah. Aubameyang or Kane?
Kane.
What do you mean Kane?
Light work, fam. Unless I'm trying to survive a war, bruv, and I need Baraka for Mortal Kombat, bruv, I'm taking Harry Kane, blood. How about that? I like your card, though, Aubameyang.
Mustafi or Phil Jones?
You know what, yeah? I'll take Phil Jones for the banter, fam. You get me? I like the photos, his facial expressions. You know them way there. 100% Phil Jones, bruv. PJ, blood. My G, you know.
Ndidi or Kante?
Ndidi, blood. I know Kante is the one, you know what I mean, yeah? But to be honest, fam, Neo's the one as well, blood. And I'm not really a Matrix fan, so I'm taking Ndidi, fam. He's proven, blood. You get me?
Tammy Abrams or Danny Ings?
Whew. First of all, his name's Danny Inzaghi after what he done to us this season. You know what I mean, yeah? And Tammy Abraham, bro, I don't care. I stand by. He's a giraffe with feet, blood. I'm telling you, I take Danny Inglewood, blood. Any day now, I'll take Inglewood, fam.
Kevin De Bruyne or Bruno Fernandes?
100%, bruv. Macaulay Culkin, fam. Home Alone. Kevin! 100%. KDB, blood.
Grealish or Maddison?
That's difficult, bruv. You know what I mean? Grealish with them low socks, blood, thinking he's Diego Maradona. He could just get that knee busted and be out for the whole season, fam. Maddison scored some scorchers, fam. You know them way there. He may as well be. Scorcher supports Tottenham, fam, so maybe it should really be Maddison. Nah, I got to take Grealish, fam. He's got the flair, blood. The flair, the Rick. You know them way there, blood. 100% Grealish, fam.
Grealish, right? You could have had Grealish last season for about 25 million.
First of all, take that bass out of your voice, blood, because you're making me feel a bit upset, blood. You get me? Yeah? Because I know we could have had him in it. First of all, you're moving like you're talking to Daniel Levy. Are you mad, fam? It weren't my fault, blood. You get me? I'm out here doing what I got to do, fam.
Adama Traore or Raheem Sterling?
Oh, Sterling, 100%, fam. Traore, bruv. Traore can't finish, fam. You know them way there. He
what
can't.
are you talking about? Look at the goal he scored against.
What am I talking about? The man.
No, he's improved a lot, man.
Yeah, the man scored a hat trick against City. And how many goals did he score other than that, fam? You tell me that, blood.
No, but I think he's been having a fantastic season, hasn't he? Fantastic season.
Yeah, he has been. Yeah, but come on, fam. Raheem Sterling. Raheem Sterling. The man does it for England. The man does it for City, blood. Like Traore. What's Traore? He's Spanish, isn't it?
Yeah.
Does he get in the Spain squad, blood?
Not at the moment, but I reckon he's definitely, knocking on the door. Leno or De Gea?
Bruv, you come and give me some better questions than this, bro. 100% David De Gea, blood. Last time when we played Man United, it was like there was 3 man in goal, David D and Gay, blood. Don't you remember the amount of shots, blood? Hella shots, fam. You know what I mean? Lloris wish, blood. Lloris wish. The amount of shots that De Gea was receiving, Lloris wish he was in front of those, blood. He'd have been having a party, blood. I'm telling you that.
Wan-Bissaka or Ricardo at Leicester?
Ooh, you know what? Like, people are going to be like, oh, no, you're wrong, yeah. But I think all round, Ricardo Pereira is better than Wan-Bissaka right now.
I agree with
but you. For the potential, I think I'll take Wan-Bissaka still. For the potential, blood, 100%.
Lewis Dunk or Harry Maguire?
Jeez, Virgil van Dijk, blood, or Harry Maguire, blood. But I'm taking Virgil van Dijk. Maguire's a fridge, fam. Big man thing. If man have him and Dyer, you'll be like Russell and Hobbs in defense, blood. Like 2 fridges, fam. Like less of that. I'll take Virgil van Dijk 100%, blood.
All right, listen, man. It's been a pleasure having you on. Yeah. So what are you saying? Are you up for coming back later on?
Yeah, fam. Tell troops to shout me, blood. That guy's been ducking my calls, blood, because he's in the doghouse. He knows I'm going to stick it on him, fam. You know them way there. That's what it is, blood. Because the missus supports Tottenham, blood. He knows what side I'm taking, blood. I watch the vlogs, fam.
Yeah, he's coming on around midnight. So I'll come back to you. We try to. Will you still be up?
Yeah, well, but yeah, fam, I'll either be playing GTA, blood, or you get me watching Friday, blood. You know them way there, blood. Around here, between Norman and the West End, they call this a little twin. Wow. See, I didn't say the rest, blood.
So listen, I'll see you. All right, so I'm gonna see you later on up about 12 o'clock. Yeah.
All right, my G, shout me, blood.
All right, bless, man.
I know.
Man, like expressions there. As usual, bringing the fire here. Tottenham fan, but I love him. He's full of vibes, man. He's full of vibes. Keep donating, people. I see those figures going up. Let me take a look what's going down on the donation page. It's all about donating. We're trying to raise as much money as we can for the. It's gone up again. £6,623. Big up Bebeck, who's donated. Big up David Mabugia, Tebow. There's another anonymous there who's also given a gift aid. Stephen Richards, Alex Bernier, Michael Leach, Jake, Harrison. Enough respect to all you guys for giving, man. I really, really, really appreciate it. It's going to such a good cause. Bosun, Faulkner, VPAN, Douglas. Keep those donations coming in. I really, really, really do appreciate it. And the NHS are going to love this. Thank you very much for that. We've got Terry from the Football Terry. How you doing, Terry?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. You?
Hold on. Oh, what's up to your ear?
Mate, I shaved it off. I was fighting the hairline for about 3 or 4 years. And then, I just thought, you know what? I was at home. It was looking terrible, brother. It was like microphone hair. I look like one of those horrible, scummy, like council kids that I grew up with. And then I was like, I'm quite liking it, though. Do you know, it's nice. The freedom. I don't have to do it in the morning. I don't have to worry about what it looks like. It's good, mate. So you have joined the club.
It actually suits you. At first, I was thinking, who's that? That ain't Terry.
I'm going for the Freddie Ljungberg look is what I went for, but
the recent Freddie Ljungberg look.
I'm not
the one with the ring. How's it going, bro? How's things been?
Do you know what? It's tough, isn't it? I think it's tough for everyone, but it's about putting life into perspective, really. You know, my family are all healthy. My work's still continuing. You know, I live quite rurally, so there's a lot. I can go out for walks, you know, running. So I've got it really good compared to loads of people. So no complaints from me for being locked in for 5 weeks. How about yourself?
Oh, it's terrible. Listen, I'm the same as you. Listen, I'm a person that I always try and look for the positives, and you know, the positives is that we're all in good health and we're safe. And like I keep saying, since we've been doing this stream, we ain't got to go out there and face this thing day in, day out. There's people doing it on our behalf, and that's the whole point of doing this stream today. So I'm positive. I'm positive. I do miss the football. I know you, as a big Manchester United fan, and also a big football fan, because you do your thing every week commentating on football in general. You must be missing it as badly as I'm missing it. But yeah, we do miss the football. But right now, there's some things more important than that.
Yeah, of course, absolutely. And I think in terms of the NHS and all the other key workers, the bus drivers. I mean, I've been to the supermarket a few times, and I look at the cashiers and just think they're not risking their lives in the same way as the nurses, but they're still serving people face to face every day. I don't want to do that, and I'm in a very fortunate position where I don't. So everyone who's keeping this country ticking over right now, they've just done such an amazing job. And I'm someone who's so proud of the NHS. I remember during the London 2012 opening ceremony where Danny Boyle celebrated it there, and I feel my friends were a little bit younger, they didn't quite get why. And I said, look, there'll be an incident at some point in the future where we realize how great the NHS is. And all I hope that happens after this is that the government, you know, I don't really like getting political, they pump more money in, more units, more nurses, more hospitals, because you just want to be prepared better the next time something like this happens. And, you know, it could happen again. Who knows?
Oh, God, please not. Please not, man.
I hope not. But, you know, you've got
like a nightmare at the moment. It really is like a nightmare at the moment. But listen, it is what it is. It's a situation that we're in. Terry, as I said, big Manchester United fan. United, have they turned the corner?
Oh, mate, do you know what's been really nice about this period? I've had time to reflect, and I made some content. I didn't release it because I embarrassed myself. Some of my reactions to our losses and draws earlier on in the season, where I'm scathing at Ollie. And I think we have. I think that I couldn't see the wood for the trees. Better quality players, better attitude. Bruno has almost been that catalyst from an attacking point of view. And those last 10, 11 games before the season finished, we just looked a completely different outfit. We only conceded 2 goals, and they were goalkeeping mistakes. Second best defensive in Europe in relation to clean sheets. So I think there has been a corner turn, and there are big signs. Guillaume Balaguer coming out, thinks Pogba's going to sign. Fabrizio Romano thinks we're going to get Sancho, and I hope these things happen as a Man United.
I'm just laughing at this comment here. The guy said, he goes, Terry lost his hair because Jadon Sancho ain't going to United.
You know what? I had a thick head of hair when Fergie retired, and now it's gone. So I might sue Man United for for being follically challenged. But yeah, I hope so. I hope that happens, because for me, my overarching thought is this on it. I don't know yet whether Ollie's a good enough manager to make us Premier League champions or Champions League winners again. I don't know. The jury's out if he's a good enough coach. I still think we need him for another 12 to 18 months to settle the ship and to reinstill the culture we need. And we got some massive news this week, the best news since Fergie retired, that Woodward and Matt Judge, who they're brilliant commercially, are no longer involved in football making decisions around buying players and haven't been since the summer. And that's why all of our signings, including the guy everybody laughed at on deadline day in Igalo, have all been, relatively speaking, successful. So I just want to keep this ship moving in this direction. No changing of management in the summer. Don't rock the boat. You know, bird in the hand is worth two in the bush kind of thing. But yeah, I'm feeling really positive. That's why I'm desperate. I know a lot of Man United fans want the season cancelled and voided because get one over on Liverpool. For me personally, I'm desperate for it to come back because we were on a really good run. And I think with Rashi coming back and Pogba coming back into this team, we could make top four and we could win a trophy. And that's more important to me than seeing Liverpool having a title, for me, wrongfully taken away from them.
Does Pogba really want to stay, or is it just because of all what's gone on? That move that he wants probably ain't going to be there. So now all of it, because his agent has been coming out and saying a lot of things for a lot of months. And Pogba's never really once sort of come out and said, shut up, man. You know what I mean? He's let it roll sort of thing. So do you think he really wants to be there, or do you think that he sort of resigned himself to the fact that, I'm not really going to be going nowhere?
Do you know what? I did a stream this morning, and honestly, my opinion changes every day. You read one report, you read another. The one thing that I saw a few YouTubers talking about the other day made sense is that Man United have released a lot of pro-Pogba, a podcast they filmed 6 weeks ago. They had no reason to release it, but they did. Lots of tweets about him, talking about him a lot of almost propaganda. So there is this feeling amongst Man United fans, are they setting us up for some really good news? You may also find, like you said, he might end up staying by default in terms of maybe the big club that were after them. They're not going to have the money now because of Corona, and he has to stay. You just hope then that he pulls his socks up and behaves in the right way. But one thing I like about Ollie, I don't think Ollie would allow him to be involved if he was genuinely... all this nonsense that Jose came out of about being a virus, I think that's all. I don't think he's a bad guy in that way. We know what Mino Raiola is. We know what he's about as a person, and I don't really want to do business with him. But Paul Pogba is the best midfielder in the world, and if you can keep him, we should.
In the world?
In the world. No doubt in my mind.
Not according to Graham Souness, he ain't.
Yeah, well, honestly, bruv, I don't listen to anyone who votes BNP, bruv. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, ain't that it? I hear what that old man has got to say. Do you know what I mean?
That's been a real tussle, isn't it? Does he? Do you think Graham Souness unfairly singles out Pogba?
100%. Yeah.
Pogba, come on, let's be have it right now, right? Pogba, he's let United down. We know he's been injured, but it's just, I don't know, this has been something that ain't been right. And as I said, then you've had the agent on top of that and stuff like that. So is Graham Souness being unfair when he tears into Pogba?
Massively unfair. I look at it very much the other way around. I think Paul Pogba has been let down by Manchester United since he rejoined. Wrong choice of management, poor signings, terrible decisions from top to bottom, the club falling apart internally. Pogba, I think of him as a luxury player in the sense of I don't want him wasting his time running around tracking. I don't mind Pogba playing a holding role if he's got creative players in front of him, like when he plays for France. If he sits in the double pivot for France, look who he's got in front of him. There's no pressure. At Man United, we sit him in a defensive role and then kick off and get angry that he's not creating chances. Well, if he goes forward and does that, there's no one to cover that position. He's just, for me, been hung out to dry by the club and poor recruitment. I'm excited to see him suddenly in the team with Fred playing brilliantly, with the maestro Bruno Fernandes, who has just been sensational since he joined. I think he's, in the last 18 months, He has a 95% ratio of goal contributions to games across both leagues. Phenomenal. I think you'll see the very best of Pogba. I want Pogba to almost be like our Messi or our Zidane. I don't want him to worry about tracking, looking after Mark Noble in a game away at West Ham. I want him to think, I'm just going to be here to pick up the ball, be creative, show my flair, and be the brilliant Paul Pogba we know he can be. I don't want him to try and be Yaya Toure or Patrick Vieira. I don't think that's his game. I think he's more the creator. And, you never hear anyone saying, oh, Kevin De Bruyne don't do a lot of tracking back, does he? He doesn't like hurry a man and crunch into a tackle because he doesn't need to. He's got a team around him to do that. So I get the criticism of Pogba, and there is some fair criticism of him. Graham Souness, completely over the top. And Monday, Tuesday's issue was brilliant because Pogba didn't even say he doesn't know who he is. He says, I don't know what he looks like. I know he was a great player, but I basically wouldn't know him if I bumped into him. And Souness took the bait. Souness was so angry that he didn't know who he was. I'll put your medals on the table and all this nonsense. And it's like, listen, that shows you there's bad blood there because we all criticize people. But if, you don't take it that personally, you don't get that angry. And yeah, Souness needs to calm down a little bit.
When he said put your medals on the table, he can't, of course, put a World Cup medal on the table. That's what you laugh about. But T. Mills says it because you said Paul Pogba, probably the best, you said best midfielder in the world. He said De Bruyne is the best midfielder. And he said, I'm a United fan. I think you forgot about De Bruyne there. Best, a lot of people having a go at you. They said Pogba is the. Oh no, there's someone agreeing with you. Pogba is the best, if not one of the best in the world. One of the best. Well, let's have it right. He ain't done it. He has not done it really since he's been at United, has he? Be real.
He's done it in.
You guys are a bit like us with Ozil.
No, it's not like. Okay,
he's so brilliant, and we talk him up, but be real. He hasn't lived up to what you expected.
No, I get that, but it's about the team being together because you could take some of these brilliant Liverpool players right now. You could take Kevin De Bruyne right now. If you put him at Man United for the last 4 or 5 years with the mess that we've had, they're going to struggle. If you put Ozil in the last 5 years in a peak Arsenal team, he would have shone with those players around him. It's about systems and it's about teams collectively. For me, I'm quite happy for people to say Pogba's one of the best in the world. If they think De Bruyne's better, I don't care. That's great that you prefer De Bruyne. I just look at Paul Pogba. I've seen him play since he was 15 years old. And there's just something about this kid. And, his performance in a World Cup final demonstrates what he can do in the right team and system. And we all know that. Me and you have both seen our clubs play where we've had players of lesser ability. And I think of players in the Man United squad over the years who haven't been world class, but they've achieved brilliance because they were in a really good team. And what that then does is elevate our better players, I look at Paul Scholes. We know how great he is. If he'd have been at Liverpool and Gerrard would have been at Man United in the same era, Gerrard would have won more trophies than Paul Scholes. It wouldn't have changed how good they were as individuals. But I think for me, it's more about the team that you sit within. And Pogba needs that more than anybody else right now.
All right. Welsh Devil says, brilliant from both AFTV and United Stand. And for everyone else who's got involved and to guys like you, Terry, and all expressions, all the guys from all the various channels that have come on today has been absolutely brilliant. Really appreciate it. This guy says Pogba's one of the best dancers in the world. That's the thing, isn't it? It's those little things around Pogba that's kind of when people start to criticize and that,
Yeah, I get that. For me, it's one of those things.
Is he focused? I mean, I saw Danny Mills this week saying, too many hairstyles, too many this, too many that. Too many off-field distractions.
I was with my dad not too long ago. My dad does after dinner speaking, and Paul Merson was there. Paul Merson told me a story about what him and Gazza used to do after training. They used to have this game where they would sit there with Paul Merson's brother and one of Gascoigne's friends, and they'd stick £1,000 each on the table after training. They'd pop every half an hour. They'd pop a sleeping tablet and down bottles of wine, and the person who stayed awake the longest, obviously the last one to fall asleep, won all the money. That's what that generation were doing in between games. For me, I'd much rather Pogba dance on Instagram than go to a bookies and put on bets, be drinking, be out chasing girls. Pogba doesn't drink alcohol, doesn't eat bad foods, doesn't get involved in any kind of shenanigans. Like for me, dancing and dyeing your hair, these things are minor. When you think of Firmino at Liverpool caught drink driving, what Ryan Giggs was doing his whole career, he was definitely distracted, like hiding things from his brother and wife. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just don't pay any of that sort of stuff real attention, mate. I think Pogba's focused. I think he wants to play. Just needs that team around him, bro.
So this guy said, Graham Souness, the point he's making that Pogba's not prepared to do any of the dirty work.
Yeah, but Lionel Messi, I don't remember Zidane doing much dirty work. When I think about Man United, Cristiano Ronaldo didn't do anything dirty. And I know they're different positions, but it's that case of every team has someone like that who's not there to be a grinder and a work hard. I remember Thierry Henry, when he first became a pundit, kicking off about Wayne Rooney. And he said, what frustrates him about Rooney is Rooney spends all game running around, wasting his energy. And then when he gets a chance in the 80th minute, he's knackered. He says, you just want to reserve it. And it was like, what do you mean? He said, well, I didn't go around doing that. I played in this part of the pitch. I waited and I reserved my energy for my attacking parts of the game. Thierry Henry weren't tracking man back, doing this, doing that. And I think that's where we need to not judge Pogba. I think because Pogba's really tall and he resembles maybe a Patrick Vieira type figure, he needs to play like Vieira. He's not. If he was smaller, shorter, they would say, oh, no, he's a creative guy. It's fine. If you look more like David Silva than Patrick Vieira, I think people would view it different. It's like Lukaku. Everyone thought he was going to be this great target man because he was big. He had his first touch was a pass. But because he was tall and big, nobody looks at him as a baller.
Doing all right now, though. He's doing all right at Inter.
He's scoring the goals. I wouldn't take him back for free. He can't play the football we want. Mason Greenwood over him every day of the week.
Okay, let me just, before you go, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. Your player of the season so far?
Oh, I would go with Firmino.
Firmino. Okay, all right, interesting. Flop of the season so far?
Ndombele.
Some people did say Pogba earlier.
Yeah, he'd been injured. For me, Ndombele has to be. He come in, everyone was buzzing and gutted that their club didn't sign him. And he's been awful, and he's got. I was listening to expressions. He blamed on a toothache.
You know what? When I heard him say that, I thought that Ty blaming the rain that time.
Yeah, I thought,
right. But blaming the toothache. I'll tell you, man. That was oh my god. Yeah, I noticed you didn't mention Lingard though.
I wouldn't say Lingard's a flop. Lingard's doing what I've expected of him. He is, again, I look at him as like a different position, but you remember David May at Man United, right? He's there, he's backup. The problem is United have been so bad in the last 5 years, he's become a first teamer. Like, Lingard's just doing what Lingard does. I mean, I genuinely hope you guys don't sign him like I saw you were linked to him. That would just be the craziest. Like, can you imagine?
No, thanks. No, thanks. I like his character, but I think he's having a tough time. I think he's better than what he's done this season, but nah. Listen, Terry, appreciate you coming on, mate. Really, really appreciate it. Just before you go there, tell everybody about your channel.
Yeah, if you want to come over and check us out, we're the Football Terrace. The only one named that. We cover all the top 6 teams in the Premier League. Just launched their own Arsenal podcast actually this week, so I'll reach out, mate. Nice to get you on there at some stage. So come across and do that. But tonight, most important thing, keep watching AFTV. Watch the United Stand, biggest and the best, the pioneers of what we all do. So big shout to you guys for doing what you're doing for the NHS. Everyone dig deep, give as much as you can, and thanks for having me on. It means the world to me. Thank you.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Terry. Thank you very much for coming on. Terry there from the Football Terry, some great opinions from him on Pogba. You know what I mean? I'd like to get your opinions on Pogba because I had Flex on the other night as well, and he was as well passionately defending Pogba. It's very interesting, actually. You speak to a lot of United fans, and they do passionately defend Paul Pogba. You know what I mean? So then out on the other hand, it's a bit split because you do get some other United fans that wouldn't mind seeing him going. But it's going to be really interesting to see what he's like when he comes back. Keep the donations coming in. We are doing brilliantly here at the moment. We are on 6,733. 418 of you have donated. Please just jump on it now. Big up Farry Potter, Ollie Oldfield, and Catherine, who said, I love United Stand and watch Mark every week. Thanks for all you're doing. I work as a nurse in the NHS, and the support of the nation has been truly amazing and humbling. So you hear it there from somebody who's actually works in the NHS. Big up Vincent, who donated. Big up Nugget. He says, run things, Don Robbie, and all involved in football fans for the NHS. Great cause. All of you donating. Fresh D, thank you very much, and keep those donations coming in. We really, really appreciate it. As I said, if you want to donate, the link is in the description. Also, we've got the you can see there's the barcodes. You can scan them there. All you got to do is just get your phone. If you don't know how to do it, scan it, and that takes you right through to the page where you can donate. All right, so keep sending those in. Actually, I'm going to have it'd be a very interesting debate now because he's disappeared. I'm going to bring him on in a minute, but we've got Mo coming up, right? And always interesting when Mo is here. And I know, Mo, how you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Me and the missus are in the kitchen. We're cooking up a feast. It's her birthday tomorrow, so we are cooking. And
it's her birthday. Happy birthday.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Zara, for tomorrow.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. What are you cooking?
Oh, we're doing an Asian feast. She loves the food, and she was saying to me earlier on, she's like, I want samosas, and I want kebabs, and I want this curry, and I want that. So we're just going crazy with it. And you've done me a big favor because now I can just chill.
You know what, right? Just before we get onto some Arsenal talk, we just had Terry from the Football Terrace on, and very passionately defending Paul Pogba, who's been getting a lot of stick this week from Graham Souness and various other people. What do you make of Pogba? Is he? I mean, Terry said he thinks he's the best midfielder in the world.
No, that's ridiculous. How's Pogba better than Kevin De Bruyne? What kind of nonsense is that? This is what annoys me because, you know, when it comes to Paul Pogba, people only talk in extremes. I just want to hear a balanced opinion about him. Paul Pogba is one of the best midfielders in the world who has been way below his potential in recent years because his heart is not in Manchester. Simple as that. But on his day, and we all saw it in the World Cup, when he wants to perform, he's incredible. And for me, when United got him, if someone said to me, who's your dream signing? You know, this is before Mbappe, right? But it would have been Paul Pogba. I think he's a supremely intelligent player. When you watch him on the pitch, the way he picks his moments, some of the things he can do, he's got it all as well. Strength, skill, flair, pace, everything. He's brilliant. But the fact of the matter is, he doesn't want to be at Man United. I don't blame him.
There's a lot of talk that he might sort of stay now, though. But I was suggesting to Terry that it could be because basically now the options of just, you know, with all what's going on, options have gone down.
Do you know what? I was thinking about this. Football clubs, they're going to find a way. Don't get me wrong. You know, like I remember we were talking about the football season. I was saying to you, Robbie, there's no chance in hell this is going to be voided. They will make it happen. The chairman and all of this, they're going to make sure of it. And, you know, we're seeing or hearing the rumours that they're going to make that happen. And just like that, football's a very innovative industry. They will make it happen. And I think we can see a lot more swap deals coming through. You know, Real Madrid will have certain players on their books that they'll feel like a surplus to requirements, for example. And if they want to get, you know, an Aubameyang, if they want to get a Paul Pogba or whatever that might be, they'll make that happen with these swap deals. And people will get creative about this.
What about us? How creative are we going to be?
Oh boy!
What a great response.
I don't know, they might change the menu in the platinum membership or something. They'll get creative like that, you know. They might bump up the prices of pizzas. Look, you know, with Arsenal, we have to kind of I don't know, give them a chance. I guess it's for years and years and years. It was the same setup. It was Arsene Wenger, the same backroom staff, and they were doing their, you know, job, Dick Law and all of that sort of stuff. Thank God. It's changed a little bit now. It's a different setup in the club with, you know, directors of football and that sort of thing. And also Mikel Arteta at the helm. And Arteta, to me, seems like he's got a very clear philosophy in terms of what he wants to do and what he's asking of players. And I think that he's shown enough, personally, to say that, look, you know, if I need to get to where I want to get to, you need to give me these players. I think that he's shown enough to have that conversation and kind of use a bit of muscle. So I think, yeah, we might be creative. It might not be, you know, top talent. We're not going to get an Mbappe, but, you know, hopefully the next Mbappe, that sort of vibe with Arsenal. And it'll be interesting to see what we can do.
It's interesting that, you know, I mean, we heard this week that Stan Kroenke is going to pump some money into the club to help us through these times. There's also a lot of talk about the players taking a pay cut, which it looks like that is going to happen as well, that the Arsenal players will take a pay cut. Right thing there that's happening?
Yeah, but, you know, I fully understand. the problem is, look, this is a very big conversation, Robbie. Yeah, I fully understand anyone in any job. If you're taking a pay cut, knowing where that money is going, you don't want to take a pay cut full stop. You most definitely don't want to take a pay cut in vain. So you have to know where's that money going. But you see, I personally think the footballers didn't cover themselves in glory. Neither did that flipping horrible Tory MP Matt Hancock either. But with the whole conversation about footballers taking a pay cut, the PFA or group of footballers responded with the point that the NHS will be worse off if footballers take a pay cut, because a large proportion of their tax bill then gets distributed to the NHS. And what you do when you're trying to make a point is you over exaggerate your angle, right? And they were basically saying that, let's say, for example, they take a pay cut, they're calculating the tax implication of that, and then basically saying that figure won't go to the NHS. That's completely overblown. I actually looked at, for every pound of taxpayers' money, and I looked at my own tax summary, and I assume it's the same for everyone. It doesn't change. But for every pound of taxpayers' money, 20 or 22% goes to the NHS. Yeah. So if the players haven't done that in that statement that they released, if they haven't already taken into account that only 1/5 of their money that's going to the taxman is therefore going to the NHS, then they're exaggerating it to the multiple of 5. But let's say, for example, in these unprecedented times, let's say double that is going to go to the NHS due to what's going on. The point is, they did amplify that to make their point. But what annoyed me about that more than anything is that no one is suggesting players take a pay cut and that money just sits with the club. No one is suggesting that. What we're suggesting is that the money that you aren't getting then goes to a good cause. So in effect, we're saying 100% of all the pay cut that you're taking will go to the NHS, because obviously we don't want the club to keep it. We don't want Stan Kroenke to keep it. So a lot of the conversations I feel like have been quite disingenuous in this whole thing, and they've kind of frustrated me a little bit. But I think the players should absolutely take a pay cut. That's my personal opinion. But with an owner like Stan Kroenke, I would not be surprised if I was a player and that message was coming to me from the upper echelons of the club, take a pay cut. I'd be saying, what the hell are you doing? Executives, what the hell are you doing, Stan Kroenke? And I really like the fact the execs have taken a pay cut, because what people don't realise, is that execs are on footballers' salaries. This is what people don't realise. We think that footballers are just like, in this crazy world of their own. An exec is probably on about £40,000 a week. That's a footballer's salary. Every member of that executive team is on more than Bukayo Saka. But he's taken the heat along with all the players, not specifically Saka, but trust me, he's on about 1/10 of what the execs are on. And I'm going based on what Zidis used to be taking, and they get big fat bonuses and stuff as well. So they've done it now. I think that's leadership. I've always said, in the spectrum of Arsenal, needs to be set from above, and that needs to filter down. And now they've done it from above. Stan Kroenke needs to follow suit, and then I think the players will. Once they see that, what the culture is with these pay cuts, where this money is going, then I think the players will follow suit.
Somebody asked the question, ask Mo what he thinks of Torreira.
I think Torreira's brilliant, but Torreira is only good in the position where he's a specialist. And I've spoken about this, you remember, Robbie, a goalkeeper clearly needs to be a specialist. It's a specialist position. A CDM, you only have specialists in that role. There's no point trying to tinker with that role. I get putting a striker on the wing and all that sort of stuff, but that's a specialist position. Just like if you're having a striker playing up front by himself, a lone striker has got to be a specialist. They've got to know where to be. You can't have a Firmino, for example, playing up top by himself. You can do the false 9 job, for example, but you need people doing that specialist job. CDM is a specialist job, and Torreira can only do one job. So stick him there, and you'll get a very good return out of it.
What do you think it is that he doesn't seem to consistently play under any manager?
I don't know, man. I think with Emery, he was trying to almost overcomplicate things for the sake of it. I feel like he wanted to earn his medals a little bit, Emery. And think about it in history. How many plaudits do managers get when they see something that others don't and they tweak it? Like Guardiola playing Philipp Lahm centre mid, Arsene Wenger putting Henry from left wing to striker. And when it works, that's when you're heralded as this visionary, as this amazing footballing mind that other people couldn't see. And I feel like sometimes managers do it for the sake of doing it, because if it comes off, they'll get that reputation. And I felt like Emery, when he was playing Xhaka deeper and Torreira further forward, and, you know, Sarri doing it with Jorginho and Kante, it was exactly the same thing. And I feel like they're almost, you know, maybe I'm not giving them enough credit and they were doing it for other reasons, but I felt like they're doing it for the sake of it, because if it comes off, then they're geniuses. And I understand it to an extent, because if Torreira or Kante win the ball high up the pitch in the opposition half, or even better yet, in the opposition third, you're basically saying we're getting a shot off on goal. And that's, there's no better place to win the ball. So if you can get a player doing it, you're going to make a lot of chances, and it's almost like attack is the best form of defense. So that defensive specialist further up the pitch. But for me, it just doesn't work. Kante, Torreira, they're just specialist players, and when you put them in their favoured position, they're going to give you, you know, such a good return from their ability.
Okay, I'm going to fire a couple of questions, couple of quick questions at you. Your player of the season so far?
Overall, or for Arsenal?
For any club, overall.
For me, it's probably Mane or De Bruyne. Do you know what? I'd still probably give it to Kevin De Bruyne, personally.
Okay. Flop of the season.
Flop of the season. Oh, God, it's Ndombele. It's got to be, right? I mean, he's been awful. Absolutely awful.
Not according to expressions, he's been having dental problems. That's why he hasn't been playing as well. Best young player.
God, am I being biased here by saying Martinelli? I just think he's electric. I just love watching him play. It doesn't happen that regularly when a player comes out and you're just like, wow, what's he going to do next? Edge of your seat sort of stuff. And I mean, like, Saka has been great, right? He's probably played more minutes than Martinelli and had more of an impact on the team into overall because of the minutes he's played. But Martinelli is just that prospect that excites me. So I'd say Martinelli.
All right, and finally, manager of the season.
Manager of the season. Oh God. I'll say. Do you know what? I mean, it's obvious Klopp has got to be in that conversation, right? But for me, Chris Wilder as well. You know, it's more miraculous to me that Sheffield United are where they are and they're doing what they're doing than it is Klopp with what he's doing. Because I know they've only lost one game all season. You did lose one, by the way. I'm just telling you, Liverpool fans, in case you've forgotten. But I mean, he's been incredible. But you know, this is a pound for pound conversation. Do you know what I mean? Like, in boxing terms, you can obviously say, look, Klopp's the heavyweight, and yeah, he's the better manager than Wilder, and better achievements in terms of winning the league this year and stuff. But for me, Wilder is just, I can't believe it. I just cannot believe it. They're above us in the table as we speak. You know, Sheffield United above Arsenal on the table. You've got to give it to him.
All right. Well, listen, Mo, thank you very much for coming on, mate. Now it's time to get back into the kitchen. Go cook up some good food and thing. You know, I'll be coming round, right? Yeah,
man.
But social distancing and everything. Maybe you could leave a little package outside the front door or something for me.
No chance, Robbie. I'm having it all to myself. Do you know what, though? What's the biggest single donation you've had on the show so far?
I don't really know, you know. I don't really know what this biggest single donation is. What are you about to do? It?
Well, no, I'm saying if someone does £100, let's say, a single donation, £100 in the next sort of half an hour, when all of this is over, you're either invited round for dinner and some shisha, or I'll drop you off a care package. I'll drop you off some of my wife's lovely cooking personally, provided you're not, like, you know, in Scotland or something, but I'll make it happen on the way to an away game or around London.
Yeah, no, listen, we live near each other. So, right, people, you heard that. £100 donation. If that's in the next what? Well, I'm off in about the next 10 minutes. So I'm handing over to you.
That's it. So until
in the next 10 minutes. Someone please donate £100. I need to get some good food.
And then you're invited to my house, or I'll come and drop it off to you, whatever you want.
Social distancing, mate. Drop it off.
After all of this.
Oh, after all of this?
Yeah.
All right there, man. Take care, Mo. Thank you very much for coming on, man. Really appreciate that. Mo in the building as usual, chatting so much sense. We're running out of time on the stream. Boy, I'll tell you, the 3 hours has gone quick. Remember, coming up after this, we've got United Stand. Actually, I'm going to be hopping over onto their channel because I'm going to be part of the quiz. I'm really doing a marathon today, but it's been absolutely brilliant. Keep the money coming in. Keep donating. It's absolutely fantastic. The link is in the description. You can use the QR code, scan that. It takes you right through to the page. And we're really appreciating all the donations, all the super chats, all of your comments that you are sending has been absolutely brilliant and engaging all day long. I've got a couple of lovely ladies right now who are going to come on. We've got Pippa. How you doing, Pippa?
You just I was looking at my phone. How are you?
Looking at your phone?
Yeah, look, I've got to move my camera now. Can I do that? There we go.
All right, and whilst you're there moving your camera, some nice flowers behind you there. Whilst you're moving your camera, we're going to also bring in Anita. Anita, how are you doing? Long time.
I know.
How are you guys doing?
Good. I'm doing really good.
Yeah, Mo was talking about making some dinner. I just have mine.
I'm literally eating right now.
What did you have? I ain't even eaten, man. What did you have?
Chow mein.
Chow mein. All right. What do you have, Pippa?
I had lamb chops.
Lamb chops. Oh, I'm feeling hungry now, man. Boy, but let me kick off. I'm gonna start with Anita because I haven't seen Anita for ages, man. And I managed to catch up with Pippa last week, but Anita, I haven't caught up with you since this whole madness started. I've seen you doing some brilliant stuff on your Instagram. It's been brilliant. You're Spanish, by the way. Oh my! You're Spanish. I was for a minute. I thought to myself, you know what? I might try and because I keep saying I'm going to try and learn a new skill during this career.
Yeah.
When I saw you on Insta, I'm like, I'm going to do Spanish.
Do it.
Yeah, but then I said actually nah. But no, you've been doing. I've liked your Instagram stuff.
Yeah, showing the real side of me, I guess. Now I have time on my hands. That's more giving that for my friends.
No, it's been brilliant. And what about you, Pippa? What other language do you speak?
None. Sarcasm. I need to learn one for real.
But how you both been coping?
Yeah, you know that I'm still at work, so I've still been busy, and I've been all day like you as well because I've on the FIFA streams. I literally just come off now. I'm going back on again in about half an hour. But yeah, I've been good though.
And what about you, Anita?
Yeah, some days from home, most days from home. But I was at the BBC today. It's kind of like a skeleton service, so hardly anyone's in. But yeah, it's a weird one because we've obviously been in lockdown for 3 weeks. So there's like maybe a habit to want to be a bit like complacent, but it's so serious, especially when they spoke about 15,000 people dying from it now in the UK, which is why everyone that's donating money here is incredible. I'm going to be doing it after this stream as well. We need to keep doing it because we're in lockdown for at least 3 more weeks, and any of us could be affected by this.
Going back to you, Pippa, I mean, no football, man. And I mean, I was saying earlier to Lee Chapman, the Leicester fan, we would have been playing Leicester, I think it was this weekend.
It's hard. I don't know how you're like me, like football, like our whole lives revolve around it, like Monday to Sunday. So it's hard. That's why I'm trying to keep myself busy. It's so hard to like, it's basically like finding a whole new lifestyle now, like to find new hobbies and find new things to do. And I never thought a day like this will come when we have no football. Like you'd never imagine it. So it's really hard. It's hard.
It's so ingrained in our culture, isn't it? Football, that when we haven't got no football, Anita, it's just weird, isn't it? I mean, and it's part of your job as well.
No, definitely. I think it's even worse by the fact that we can't leave our houses. It's not just there's no football. There's nothing, absolutely nothing. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm tired of the replays now. I'm not going to lie. At first I was like, yes, come on, I'll have it. Unless it's Arsenal, of course, then I'm all here for it. But the rest of them, like the FA Cups, the World Cups, I'm tired now. I'm tired.
It's not the same when you know the outcome already. You know what I mean? I'm like you. I mean, I've watched so many of those things. I'm like, yeah, all right now, man. You know what I mean? I just want the real thing to come back. But Pippa, on Arsenal, obviously now it looks like the players are going to take this pay cut. The execs have taken a pay cut. Stan Kroenke said he's pumping money in to keep the thing afloat. I don't know if that's for transfers or if it's just to pay the backroom staff. But are you worried for Arsenal when this is all over?
Sorry. Sorry, say that again. Sorry.
I was saying that. Are you worried for Arsenal when this is all over? Even though they're doing their best to stabilise things by taking pay cuts, etc. But are you worried what sort of Arsenal's going to come out of this?
Yeah, of course, because I don't know. Like, obviously, we never have the best transfer markets and transfer windows anyway. We had a good one last season, but like when things like this come into play, it's like, can it get even worse? You think to yourself, can it get worse than what it is now? But then it possibly can with all these things that's going on. Because I guess what's the famous saying? If you don't prepare to fail, you fail to. If you don't fail to prepare, you prepare to fail. So I guess they're taking all these cuts now just to ensure that things will be good.
Aubameyang, Anita.
Yeah.
I know sometimes you're sort of around the Arsenal, around the scenes and that. Heard anything? Staying or going?
No, I think you would know more than me. You guys are friends with Aubameyang. I'm not on that level with him.
You know some of the movers and shakers behind the scenes, right? They only just say to me hi, and they're gone. But no, seriously, I mean, what do you think? Do you think he'll end up staying, or do you think he might leave Arsenal?
I think the whole transfer market in the summer is going to be tits up. Basically, I think before this we were going to see like maybe Neymar going back to Barcelona. Barcelona don't have the money; they're also going through their own thing out there. I don't know if he's going to be able to go. Whether he even wants to is another thing. But given we're in recession now, they haven't announced it, but we're in a global recession, and football is not isolated from that. So I think the market is going to be extremely difficult. He knows that we all love him here, and that Arteta's at the top now. We've already seen the changes that he's implemented, and obviously the style of football he wants them to play. So I think those are all factors that would make him hopefully want to stay if he was considering going. But I just think it's, as everyone says, unprecedented times. Our economy is effed. So I don't know how that's going to reflect in the summer transfer window.
And what about you, people? Do you think he'll stay?
I genuinely think that he will. I don't think there's many options for him to go anywhere. And I feel like Arsenal, as crazy as it sounds, because he hasn't been here for that long, I feel like Arsenal's imprinted in him now. And I feel like maybe that's a pressure for him to stay. Because even if he wanted to make a move, I feel like he'll feel this is a big kick in the teeth to Arsenal fans because have completely backed me. Because, before he arrived, everyone said that he was a troublemaker and they didn't have much faith in him. And he come here and we've made him feel like this is home. And I feel like he feels like this is home for him. So if he was to leave, it would be a kind of a big shock. But I wouldn't be too surprised if he wanted to leave.
And finally, because we're running right out of time here, we've just got a couple of minutes left. But quickly from both of you, women's football. Will women's football be able to recover from this?
I hope so. I mean, it's hard to say because we don't. Their funding is it's a completely different business model. It's mainly from like sponsorships and stuff. And I mean, I'm sure Barclays, who are the main sponsors of the league, will continue to push money into it. But who knows? Honestly, who knows?
You Anita?
Yeah, they depend heavily on the men's teams as well. Like, let's face it, she touched on their business model, but they aren't profitable at the moment. A lot of these teams, they're actually having losses. So we've seen the likes of these lower league teams kind of fold up in recent times and have to furlough their teams and so on. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened in the women's team, but hopefully because there's been momentum there, they'll be able to get out of that quickly. Ahead of the Euros and so on.
All right. Well, listen, ladies, thank you very, very much for coming on. Sorry it's a bit short. Only could have had a lot more time here. It's been crazy the amount of guests we've had on, but thank you both. And it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much, Anita.
Woo, go eat.
And also Pippa. Thank you very much. And we've reached the end of the stream. Our 3 hours are up. We're going to be handing over now to United Stand. Make sure you jump over there. Make sure you like. Please keep donating. We're running this stream for 24 hours, 3 hours here on AFTV, then over to United Stand. When we come back round about midnight time, we've got troops coming on, we've got expressions, we've got loads of people coming on. So please, please, please come back and join us there. And remember, the most important thing about it is you guys donating as much as you can. If you haven't got nothing to donate, that's cool. Just keep watching and supporting. If you can donate, doesn't matter how small it is, go to the Just Giving page. The link is in the description. You can scan the codes as well. Go get along there and donate whatever you have. It's going to a fantastic cause. The NHS are doing a brilliant, brilliant job on our behalf. And we want to show our appreciation and our love for them for the way that they're putting their life on the line. But right now, we're going to hand it over to United Stand. So get over to United Stand. Show them your support. I'm actually going to be going over there right now as well, because I'm going to be joining in the quiz. Me and Claude are going to be representing AFTV, taking on Mark and Flex. So make sure you check that out. It's a real marathon. All right, I better get a little bit of food first, but I'm going to be jumping over there. So get over onto United Stand right now. But thank you very much for joining us for the last 3 hours.